It has been a minute. It's been a while.
We made it.
But we've made it.
Feels like forever.
It feels like a whole year, even though we literally took one holiday week off.
No, let me see if y'all looking different in here. Nah, y'all look the same.
Oh,
I don't look different? You ain't noticed nothing different about me?
Look at the
Look at me real quick.
You got the
Look at
beard.
me.
What you been doing?
Oh, you want me to highlight that big?
No. You know what
I
it is?
see it though.
No,
wait, what? Are we supposed to notice something?
No, you don't have to.
The
I have
beard.
slept with a face mask.
Really?
I've embraced face mask.
Wait,
over
was
the
it the
holiday.
sheet mask?
No,
Oh,
it's an ice pack mask.
How that work?
So basically, you freeze this mask,
Oh,
you
yeah.
put it over your face, and it's supposed to bring down like the swelling.
Yeah, the swelling.
Cause
So
I have-
why your shit so swole?
You ain't noticed the difference? My shit's still swole.
Hey,
You sure your shit swole? They lied to you, bro. Your shit was never swole.
Nah, I had chubby cheeks.
like the puffiness.
I got puffiness in my
That's
face.
liquor.
Well,
I know. I know. I'm
He
trying to
does drink every
counteract
week.
it with like a frozen face mask. So I started a frozen face mask over the holiday.
Well, my friend, you're glowing.
Thank you. I
Nah,
appreciate
you
it.
look good, man.
Nah, you know what? We go force the compliments. I appreciate
Nah,
it.
that ass.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you.
now.
Thank
You
Yo,
are
Alex-
now a superior
good.
nigga.
Alex is so mean. He was like, "Yeah, but why is your face still swollen?"
you. Word, you fat face bastard. Like, what the fuck, bro? Chill.
You know, we cheeky. I got some cheeks too.
Yeah. We
Pause
cheeked
on the
up on this
plate.
pod,
My
for real.
fault. Ah,
Super
hard.
double
That's
cheek.
good. It makes you look more youthful if you have like chubby cheeks.
Double
Oh,
cheeked
yeah?
up, for real?
Yes.
See why you had to put it like that?
Because how that feel?
You
said
tell
you was
us.
cheeky.
You tell us.
You
tell
said
us.
you cheeky. I'm
Yo,
cheeky.
You got a mask for your cheeks. You
For
gotta-
sure. You got to cover up.
Yeah,
Hey,
cool.
You
Yo,
gotta
right,
cover
right.
up.
Wait, if I ever gave Alex like a face mask, he can only put it here.
Oh shoot, because of the beard.
I just noticed. Like, I was like, what is the point of Alex doing a face mask? Because you can only put it here. Everything else is covered.
I have to cut my shits out and just place it right over the bed. It's not gonna marinate in my beard either, though. No.
I mean,
Are you ever curious? Sorry, this is so
Yeah.
sorry if you guys don't care, but are you ever curious what your hair looks like under your beard?
Yes, but I kind of know already. I told you already. I was a dumbass when I was like 8, 9 years old. I was going to a party with my mother,
oh,
and for some reason, she trusted me with the iron. That's how you know I grew up fast.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
And I just put the iron right to my face
Wait,
Why?
what?
just to try shit. I was
Just
a wild kid.
Just for fun?
It was on?
you trying to perm
That
your?
motherfucker was on.
You trying to perm your beard?
I ain't had no beard thing. I was like 9.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So, yeah.
So what was the outcome?
Oh, you have a scar?
Oh, a scar.
You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
finish the story.
My fault. I thought that was implied. My fault.
Yeah.
See, I got that big scar right under there.
So
Yeah.
me and Pierre, we was talking a little bit earlier about a really, really, really old episode.
Right.
And I want to know, what is your price?
Oh, shit.
What?
Like, how much would it take? How much would it cost?
For what? For him to shave his
Are
beard?
y'all trying to like...
Yeah, for you to shave your beard.
You know what's funny? I've trimmed it down.
No, but I
That's
want
not
it.
the
I want it
question.
off
You want it off? Why you want it off? Your shit's starting to take off. Now you want my shit off?
for
Balance.
No.
I just
Oh,
want
so
to.
then you guys can like meet in the middle.
Yeah, let's meet in the middle.
I'll trim it down to your height.
I think
Double-
I
no.
can see with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
That would
I'm
still look
going
fine.
towards
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
When
No,
I was
you're
in
not.
I am. When I was in high school, I had this thing that like you had to have a Rick Ross type beard,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Like just to prove a point.
yeah.
What is your price?
Yeah, just answer the question. I want to
fuck?
know. I
He
wanna
doing
know.
not a
everything
hoe.
just to not say it.
I'm not a hoe, yo.
What
You
is your
wouldn't fucking
price?
shave your beard for like $10,000? You could grow it back in like a week.
But see, now I'm a hoe. Now I have a price. I don't want to have a price
Oh,
10,000.
my-
Oh my god.
Bro,
That's a good business decision.
What is your price
to shave it off.
to shave it off?
But I could grow it back.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
have to shave it off.
Damn. All right.
And you cannot sit in the house all day. You have to like do your regularly
You
scheduled.
gotta do
Okay.
this pod.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So y'all ready?
No hat, no beard. What's your price?
All right.
Damn.
You gonna get you some.
That
Benny,
raises stakes.
get you some. You're gonna need some food to add to this though. Give me 20K.
God damn.
What?
Yeah, give me 20K and 3 of my favorite foods.
And that's
That's it.
Damn, I need to raise my stakes. You're like, yo, what's up? Y'all rich.
Alex,
Your
Damn.
standards are too low, bro.
Real quick,
This is
real
crazy.
quick. I know, I
The
understand. There's a lot of people who are upset that we didn't record in real time last
Oh
week.
my God.
We are gonna get to Kendrick.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to Drake.
we are.
We are gonna get to J. Cole. We are gonna get to all of those things. But
You think
I
that's
have to
mad?
ask Alex another serious question, and then
Okay.
we'll get to the bullshit.
Wait, but I want like a fun question like this too.
Yeah.
Give
Give
me
Reggie
one.
with some questions.
I don't know how to.
Niggas love asking me shit.
No, for real. Cause
I hate it.
we're gonna be honest,
Yeah, thanks.
Let's do it.
Reggie. You don't get these questions. From me at least, because I don't know how to ask appropriate questions. I
You know what?
only know
I
how to
respect
ask
that.
inappropriate questions.
I respect
when
that.
it comes
Treat me
to
appropriately.
Nah, fuck all
Treat
that.
me
No, but
with appropriation.
you're asking Alex, oh, how much would it take to shave off your beard? You can't ask me something like that.
Well, I was
Like
gonna
like an
say
innocent one.
the part 2 is where we get
Okay. Let's go.
All right.
To him. I know.
Part 2 is, do you remember the first time you was asked how much would you do it for?
I don't remember, but I think this was brought up before. It was in the old studio.
It was in the old studio.
Facts.
It was this very podcast that we had this conversation.
Oh man.
And the question was,
That's so many talks here.
how much would it take for you to suck a dick?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Now,
treat me with some appropriation.
Listen.
Treat me appropriately.
We already been through this, so I'm not gonna go back down that road.
I want to find it.
At the time,
I answered?
no, neither one of us answered
I'm
that.
about to say, that don't even sound like me.
But somebody did answer in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is that person here?
No, that person is no longer here.
With context clues, you guys can figure out who that was.
No, it was a he.
Yeah.
And he answered the question, and he had a price, and we were really befuddled. But I just wanted to kind of rehash that.
Okay, if no one found, okay, hold on. If no one found out, you guys want to suck a dick for $1 million?
No.
Reggie.
If no one found out,
Reggie, look at me with some respect
no.
when you ask me that again.
it's just
No.
Because I'm a no.
No.
It's sort of like, if a tree falls in the forest and no one sees, did it fall? Yeah, it fell.
Yeah, that shit fell.
It fell.
I never understood that phrase.
It asks if it
Doesn't
made a
make
sound.
But I never understood that phrase because it's like, yes, it did make a sound. We just didn't hear it.
But
didn't hear it.
can you prove it?
It fell.
You
But
can't
can you
have
prove
dick
it?
sucker allegations on me.
No, I said that's why no one would find out.
Nah, they gonna
Like, not a soul.
I don't know, man. What if they, y'all get one of those psychiatrists that really just do a deep dive into my brain and I just start admitting shit that I don't want to admit to under psychosis. Nah, I'm cool. Nah, you can't. Nah, that can't happen.
Yeah. That was
For a
a
milli?
funny episode.
Look at what your number. That's my number.
No one would find out.
The person at the time said
I
like
would find out.
25,000.
Yeah, it was bad. It was
That's
bad.
what they said?
Yeah, he said
Yeah, I
25,000.
forgot this happened.
Damn, yo, we do so many episodes. I forgot.
But also,
That's it?
to some people, that's not a big deal. To some people, and that's fine.
And I
No,
will
that's
say
a fact. And
this.
salute to all y'all that suck dick.
Nah.
No, because we gotta salute
Salute.
them people too.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
to some people, it's not make or break, and that's more
for
power
sure.
to them. Like, but you guys, I get it. You know, you don't want to do it.
I can't suck dick for $1 million. I can't suck dick just in general. All right, y'all. We're gonna get to some.
Bro, I remember this is during my hiatus when I went to the league, right?
Oh my god.
I'm listening. I'm like, wait, what? I had to like rewind and like, did I just really hear that? But yeah, that happened. I'm surprised you don't remember, Alex.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It was a long time ago.
We
It was
do
a
a
long
lot
time
of shit
ago.
on
But
here.
yeah, we talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that back. How much would it cost? I think I may come in with one of those every single week. Reggie, what
like
I'll do
it.
for you,
Yes.
I'll find appropriate questions. Like,
Yay.
how much would it cost for you to not do your nails for a year? Or makeup?
Like $100.
No.
I don't care.
No makeup.
Look, my
no
nails
makeup.
are done right
no,
now.
no makeup. No makeup. No makeup. No makeup.
Mm.
No,
That's a
that's
big
good.
one.
You know what
Because
I'm
I'm
saying?
not a
Yeah.
naturally beautiful queen. Okay, I need my makeup.
Please
Come
stop
on.
it.
I need.
Oh, stop it, Reggie.
Guys, I have
Reggie, please.
a full set of lashes on every episode, and if I don't have it, I'm not potting.
Really?
Really?
I'm kidding.
That's how I feel about my earrings,
But
though.
I definitely can't pot with no makeup on. I'm very self-aware.
Mhm.
That's
See?
a good one.
That number ain't so
That's a
easy,
good-
right?
Like, I would have to pod.
I'm gonna come up with like appropriate questions.
That's a
I've
good
never done
one.
this in my life.
I need my concealer. Oh my god, I can't. Oh my gosh,
I
can't
got
do
you.
it.
I got
can't
you
do
next
it.
week.
How about without a hat, Alex? What would your number be without a hat?
The same would be for the beard shit.
For the dick suck.
SaVon. You know what? I just told you. Ask me shit with respect.
My
in
fault.
This
My
bitch.
fault. My fault.
Ask me shit appropriately.
Nah, I thought he was going back. Call back. It was call back. That's it.
Now, welcome to the Need to Know podcast. Cause I think we missed each other some in here. Y'all niggas.
Of course, I missed you guys.
Did you? You had a hiatus.
I don't like how if I take a week off, it feels like very long.
Yeah.
I don't like how much I'm used to this. If that makes sense.
I don't like how Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole decide to like always do things when we plan to chill.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Honestly.
Have they
It's
done
like
that
ritual.
before?
They did that earlier in the year when we was in here every other day like a
Yeah.
fucking sweatshop. We were supposed to take a break.
Oh yeah,
we didn't
were
take a
planning
break.
to-
We were
yeah,
planning
yeah.
a break, and then it was just dropping diss song after diss song, and we're here. Like, so
Yeah.
I don't like that, but I'm glad y'all missed us. I'm glad y'all wanted to hear our commentary on it. We appreciate y'all. We will give y'all that today. Honestly, I'm really glad we got to kind of sit with everything that happened and not
Same.
just react. I know this podcast landscape, streaming, other podcasts, radio station, whatever the case may be, they get to kind of react in real time. We didn't have that luxury this time around. I know early in the year we did that and it was cool and it was great and I had fun. But this time around, I had FOMO.
Did you?
Okay.
You felt like you was missing out?
I had FOMO.
Hell yeah.
I had FOMO.
Of what?
Because GNX, Kendrick Lamar, dropped a surprise album. We didn't really get to talk about it.
He did.
Drake, he threw out some petitions, some lawsuits against some people. He did something that was unprecedented in hip hop and music, not just lawsuits, but and we'll unpack that a little bit later. But all of like the biggest people in the space were just doing shit that's never been done. And we're like, oh my God, what the fuck? I can't talk. And then I learned from my mistakes. Now, when Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, I ran into the studio and recorded without you guys.
You did.
That is a gem for the long time need to know listeners.
He
that
coerced me
that was
into
a time.
Yeah.
That was a time.
But you coerced them folks.
I have not done that since. And this was a moment where I thought about it. Okay?
The growth.
I'm not going to speak for Alex, but for me, if SaVon wanted to do an emergency pod and none of us were available, I was literally in a different continent. And if he really wants a pod, as long as you told me, I would love for you to do it. Like if you
She lying.
I'm not lying. If you could think I'm lying, I don't care. God knows I'm telling the truth. If you told me like, Reg, I'm gonna call up Armand, whatever, I'm gonna drop it in 2 days. I have to. I was like, go ahead. Like we have to hit this news cycle.
You were in like euphoria too in Brazil and shit while all this madness is going down in the States.
But I feel you.
Yeah.
But
we should have potted.
It was a lot that happened, and circumstance. Shit happens. We are the 9 to 5 pod. We have let y'all know that through and through.
It was Thanksgiving break.
It was Thanksgiving. And that's
we
the
can't
other
be
thing
with
too.
Our family.
We abide by breaks. But
sometimes
I'm not gonna lie. Next year, I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, I have a question. I don't know if this will get anybody in trouble. Why didn't you guys pod? I was on vacation. I had a good excuse.
Yeah.
But why didn't you guys come in that Tuesday? You just didn't want to?
You want the bullshit or the?
I can tell you both.
I want to know as like my actual co-host.
I almost hit the chat like, yo, are we really not recording?
See, that's the problem with this new generation. I just want to react. Motherfucker, me and SaVon like to digest. You understand what I'm saying?
I think that's more so true for you. I don't know about SaVon.
Yeah, because he just said he wanted.
Well, just me.
He just said he wanted to pod.
Shit, my fault. And he called me too, like, yo, bro, you trying to pod? I'm like, nigga, I have work. I'm sorry. But on the real note, I was telling SaVon on the phone, like, listen, there is just so much going on. Kendrick is so deeply coded in the things he puts out and things he does that, I need a second. I need a moment. Again, like SaVon said to intro this episode, surprise album, but not so much so. We knew he was going to drop a project sometime either before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl. We just didn't know when. So personally, when music comes out like that, like for the diss tracks that were going on during the rap battle, it was kind of easier to kind of analyze and do a deep dive on one song, run in the studio, knock it down. This was an album. And I wanted to know where the concepts lies, what I felt, and most importantly, just to make sure you guys hear some fresh takes.
I think for me, I don't mind. I enjoy being wrong sometimes.
Oh shit!
So I don't mind just coming in here saying some shit that I feel in a moment, and then coming back the next week like, "Yo, my bad, y'all. I'm a dickhead. Like I fucked up." Right? Like there's always room for growth and improvement and apologies.
Sure.
So I don't mind, and this is something that I don't mind apologizing for. Now, if we're dating and I break your heart, that's a different type of apology. Like, I really mean that. I have to live through that. I have to accept the fact that, I hurt another human being, and I am so very sorry. But if I just say some shit about Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, or anybody who's out there for my entertainment, and I'm wrong at first thought, then fuck it. My bad. I fucked up. But I can't, so I also, I do want to give Alex some bail, and then we'll get into the podcast. But I did say, Alex, I am tired too.
Oh yeah,
I'm with you.
That part.
So if you feel like, hey, because all year this year, and I want to shout out to all the YouTube listeners, all the commenters who had our back, who said, hey,
thank you.
They have been in the studio every single time Kendrick Lamar or Drake dropped anything this year.
It's a fact.
Give them a break. There's a few of y'all who was out there who backed us up, and I stand with you. Thank you.
Nah, salute
solidarity.
Like
I appreciate y'all.
I didn't agree with them.
We don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And hold that thought.
But we don't agree with you.
Hold that thought. I appreciate y'all for understanding and keeping up with us and tapping in. But then there's another side to it too, where people do give a fuck about what we have to say.
That is so
My thing is, I will never take that for granted. I feel very honored that people are like, yo, where are you guys at? We want to hear you guys. But my thing is like, why do we have to react to it 2 days later, why can't we still speak about it, but just like a week later? Like, I just don't know why there was a lot of like malicious, like, oh my God, you guys don't care about the biggest story of the year. I'm like, we do care. We're just taking a week
That's
off.
why I was running in here doing the bad.
And then also, like, I feel like what SaVon said about, like, I don't care about being wrong and then correcting myself. But I feel like if you have a platform, like, shouldn't it be better for us to be more informed and, like, form, like, a very nice actual opinion and then, like, put out a better episode instead of, like, rushing to be the first one to do it?
Yeah, for y'all.
What you mean?
We all play a role.
So wait, you know
For y'all.
what about for the people who don't return, right? Because that's the reason why I try to be so factual when I'm here.
Fuck 'em.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
their first
Sorry.
impression of us sucks.
Yeah, like, I
fuck
just
'em.
want them. Okay, that's you. I'm sorry. We are putting on for the podcast right now. Hush up. SaVon is crazy. But no, like, you know, for a lot of people, sometimes they might hear wrong information from a person and just never come back.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I think it was more so just reacting to things that's happening in the culture.
Yeah.
They hear a lot of different opinions, and that's what you want from your podcast. Like me, as somebody who content is what gets me through my day, my work commute, my work shift, all of those things. I just want the people that I fuck with, the voices that I trust, the voices that I'm familiar with, whether it be right, wrong, indifferent, I agree, I disagree. I just want to hear what you have to say. So I understand that part of it too. And we are going to get to it today. With
Facts.
that being said, this is the Need to Know Podcast. What you need to know, when you need to know on the Need to Know Podcast. I go by the name SaVon, SaVon, and the N is for nostalgia, because this week we get to talk about the big three and go backwards.
Like, it's 2014. Oh my
And
God,
I
Jake.
cannot wait to go backwards and lead us up to present day. We did miss a lot. We missed the Kendrick GNX album. Well, we didn't miss it. All right. Let me not
still
say that. Let me not say. Let me not say that.
Every day is something new.
We didn't get it to you when you guys wanted it, and that is okay. We will get to
And
it today.
I think that is valid. I received the critiques of like, hey guys, something huge happened, you guys didn't record. Like, I feel like that's a fair critique, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
It was.
The
But I
funniest
just
part,
don't think the maliciousness was needed, because we will get to it. But hey, let me not shoot myself in the foot.
the funniest part about that shit is that we literally pre-recorded an episode where we're talking about how long the year was and the shit we
We
grateful
thought
for.
it was over.
I thought that Thanksgiving episode was cute.
And it
was
would have
cute.
been weird because what would we have done with the episode?
No,
It
yeah,
was
like
a Thanksgiving episode that we
We
pre-recorded.
could have dropped it in a few days. I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know.
Dropping a Thanksgiving episode in December.
And it was a
It's-
fire
it's
episode that we
criminal.
dropped for Thanksgiving. That's the other thing. Like, we dropped some heat
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving. We were singing for y'all. We had different like Instagram memes and shit. Like, yo, we really killed it. But I
Facts.
understand the two
We
biggest
get it.
guys in the
We were
world.
singing for you.
They
We
did
get
their thing. And yeah, now we're here.
Facts. Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy A, as always. The Paco Bone Poppy. Never alone, always with the posse.
Hey guys, it's me, Regi, and if you're listening to this right now, if anybody asks you if I'm still in Brazil, please tell them yes. I'm trying to pretend that I'm still there for the next 2 weeks because I have so much to post and I couldn't post it because my phone broke when I went there. So that would be like a little secret between us and our thousands of listeners. Okay, I'm still in Brazil, but when I landed there, we'll get to you here, I swear. But I just have to tell you.
Go ahead.
It's just like when I landed there, I was there for a full week. When I landed there, my phone just like kept restarting every 3 minutes.
Wow.
It was weird. And then I looked it up. It's called panic mode on the iPhone. Something internally is wrong. And then it just kept restarting. So I just had to keep my phone off for the entire week. And imagine that, like, being forced to live in the moment in a different country while shit is going crazy back home. I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. So
That's
now
wild.
I feel like I'm in the Matrix right now. Please don't be mad at me if I'm a little off today. I literally feel like I'm in a
Wow.
different world.
Wait, how'd you survive?
I mean,
That's a crazy question
She
to
had
ask,
her
but-
dad.
yes, my
Okay.
dad is literally a world traveler.
Okay.
All he needs is a toothbrush and a t-shirt, and he could literally backpack across the world. But
That's
like,
fire.
so I had him, I had my sister to take pictures and stuff. But it was really wild, like having to live in the moment in a different country. But it was so healing. It was so peaceful. If you're Brazilian, can you please comment below? Because I want to be friends. Because
Obrigado.
I'm obsessed with the culture, the kindness.
Me
it
too.
was so cool. Yes. And there's a stereotype that Brazilian
You
people
just like
are
the butt lifts.
the most beautiful people in the world. And I think that's true. Everyone was there was beautiful. The kindness.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
They don't call it a BBL for nothing now.
I know. Brazilian bullet. Oh my God. Someone said, because I didn't post for over a week anywhere, and they thought I was like hiding to get my BBL.
Yo, if you would have came in this studio with a BBL, Reggie. If you would have came in this studio
I wouldn't have looked.
with a BBL,
wouldn't have
Facts.
I would have popped it.
No, but like,
Save a
I
What
would
would
have
you-
placed a pin on her chair
and
so
just
that
popped
shit
it.
What?
inflate that shit, bro.
What would you guys do if I told
deflate,
you if I
deflate,
told you
right.
guys I need to go missing for like 6 weeks because I really want to get a BBL?
I mean,
I'm not
listen,
even joking. I just want to know what you guys like. What do you guys
like
do?
it? I love it.
We gonna have to pre-record something.
Yeah.
Or would you guys try to talk me out of it, or like what?
I wouldn't.
We'll ask you questions.
Your body, your choice. I wouldn't try to talk you out of it.
Okay, good answer. That was a trick question.
I wouldn't try to talk you out of it, but I would tell you we gotta talk. Off
So
air.
what were we talking about?
We got like,
Conversation.
You
How's
can't,
everything?
You just can't be getting BBLs on the pod.
How's everything?
Why not?
It's in your contract.
No,
I mean, it's not.
No,
it's not.
It's not.
But it's not though. Don't start lying up here, nigga. It's
But like,
not.
what would your
Imagine
reason?
that was-
What would your reason be? Like,
Just ask if you're right.
I'm fine. I just want a bigger butt.
Yeah, nah, but like
I'm completely fine.
Okay.
SaVon said, your body, your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like he also said,
I thought we
How's
had
everything?
Like, honestly, top of this pod, we talked about it. I thought me and Alex had enough cheeks for you to not feel like you got to do that.
the fuck is wrong with you?
For real.
You don't know what my cheeks look like, nigga.
What?
You said you was double. You said it.
Oh, you want to? Oh, my fault. The ones on my face.
You
Yeah,
did say
cheek.
cheeky.
You right.
You said you was very cheeky.
No, you on
If
point.
we
No, but
both
your
cheeked up,
butt-
I wear a face mask to like minimize my cheeks. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so
Yes, too much cheeks.
if it's so cheeky on the pod, if you got the BBL,
What?
it's
It'd
a
be
lot.
too
It's a
cheeky.
lot going
No,
on.
wait, your
Triple
guys'
cheek,
cheeks
though.
has nothing to do with my cheeks. That's a bad answer. That wouldn't satisfy me.
Look how we sound. Look,
I thought our cheeks was like shared
look.
type shit.
No,
Nah,
like
no.
distributed.
yeah.
Distributed
Damn.
cheeks.
Now I know I can never get a
We
BBL.
gotta somehow make cheeks the part of the episode title.
That's true. Anyway, sorry. If anyone wants to know about Brazil, please DM me. I just need someone to talk to about it. Like, cause I'm just like so fucking obsessed now. Like, Brazil is so amazing. But anyway, let me pass it to the man behind the cam with the plan. I forgot it.
Nah, that's fine. Yo, mad random. I know I said I would start with a quote every time, but bump that for this week. This week, I just got one thing to say. Wash your damn hands. I was at a spot
okay.
and
He's like, I'ma kill
dude
him
was
with
in the
this one.
bathroom. I walked in, it smelled like goodness gracious,
Shake
right?
that up.
No courtesy flush, no nothing.
Ew.
I'm washing my hands. Dude comes out, didn't even wash his hands. He didn't step foot near the sink. He just walked out. So I just thought to say,
Wait.
Yeah.
After dropping a load or after like peeing?
Nah, he was in the stall
Okay.
blowing ass.
All right.
Oh, and for men, I was thinking about this. And for men, if you're in the stall, people automatically know you're taking a shit.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we can't sneak shit.
Yeah, just the way it smells, it's like, all right, there's a lot going on in there. But to not wash your hands after all that is damn near diabolical. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he wasn't raised right.
Was he white?
Hey,
Yeah.
you could speak up. Just
Yeah,
say
yeah.
space.
No,
Yeah.
and it is not like
Nah, he
that's
was
been my experience. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like when I've been out, I've noticed a lot of white people that I've seen in the bathrooms. They just don't wash. They just pee, shake their thing, and just keep it pushing.
I wish we could visibly see germs.
I don't.
I
that
do.
would
I don't.
shake.
That's why
That would
oh
shake
my
the
God.
world.
My
Because
sex
This
life would be
doorknob,
terrible.
Yeah, I
oh
don't
my
touch
God.
doorknobs.
My sex life would be in shambles.
Because I was just like,
you got
gross
going
out.
on?
No, I really might.
Oh my
well,
God.
yeah, you should have been on that. I got a pack for you.
Yeah, let's bleep that. Let's bleep
The
that.
fuck wrong with it? No,
Like-
don't worry. I got
We
a
don't have
pack
to
for
believe it.
you.
He said it plenty of times.
Yeah,
We don't have
I got
I
a pack
did.
for
You
him.
can bleep that, but like, I really might like. What the fuck? Please bleep
Because
that.
if people saw what,
Yo.
that's what it is. You probably take a piss real quick. Some of these dudes and they go, "Oh, it was just a pee." No, it's not just a pee, homie. You got some germs on that little testicle of yours,
Mhm.
and you walked right out thinking you were fine and dandy. You're not. Now you shook my hand with
Wait.
all that dick germ on you.
Wait.
My fault.
When you pee, you touch your testicles?
My fault.
What?
Yo, we don't got to get into this.
You
There's
just
a lot.
said-
No,
you
no,
just-
no. There's
hold
a lot
on.
to talk about. There's a lot to talk. We do not have to talk about anybody peeing
You asking
regimen.
too
Any
many
of that.
questions
You
today.
there's already people
Testicles.
pissed off at us. No pun intended.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, that
I
was
like
good. That was
that.
good.
We didn't talk about
I like
Kendrick,
that.
GNX, all of this stuff dropped, all of this stuff happened. So let's get into it. Alex, Regi, Alex, you said you needed a lot of time to digest this album, this
I
project. It dropped about a week ago at the time of this recording.
Yeah.
Surprise drop. We didn't know it was coming. I saw a song came, and then right after an album came. I listened to the album. I don't want to rush through it, but I feel like it's been out for a while, so we don't have to do track by track or anything like that. We can talk about the highlights. We can talk about the highlights, the thing that kind of resonated, things that stuck out with you. There's a lot of chatter around this project, a lot of
Mhm.
speculation. People are thinking that this isn't the only thing that Kendrick is going to drop over the next few weeks,
And they would be
Mhm.
right.
maybe days, maybe months, whatever that may be. Personally, I'll start with how I feel about the album in its totality. I think it's a really strong album.
Yeah.
Really strong album. The New Yorker in me struggles with some of the heavy West Coast influences.
The hyphy music.
But what I will say is this project put Kendrick in a different sphere for me, stratosphere for me.
Why's that?
What I realized because of this project in particular, and it's something I've always known about myself, but with this GNX project title, whatever album, I really, really appreciate value. Like if we were doing a slider, a scale, you know how on 2K it's like, oh, his 3-pointers are 95, but his layup is a 62, right? If we have sliders in that way, storytelling for me is a very heavy rating attribute that I rate when it comes to my artists and rappers, or any artist in general. Being able to tell a story in a creative way, where you have to listen back to it. And I think that's one of the things that Jay-Z gets a lot of credit for. You can't listen to a whole album one time and pick up everything he said.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible. Like, literally impossible for you to listen to a Jay-Z album for the first time and hear everything that was said in it and process it and understand it. Like, that's literally impossible. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's considered the greatest of all time. Kendrick has that same element. His storytelling, his ability to say double entendres, triple entendres. Like this album, and I don't know what it was specifically about, two songs in particular, Reincarnated and Gloria. Those two songs, they just paint a fucking picture. And I'm like, oh my God, he's incredible. And so those were like the highlights for me. But I know there's a ton to get into with this song, especially the intro.
That's crazy that you say that, which I fully agree. Like Kendrick's storytelling ability is amazing, and the songs that you named were literally so vivid. But it's crazy that this album did that for you, because I feel like Kendrick's previous albums were more like packaged stories. Like To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City were very like story movie like to me. But I like that it hit for you with this album, because I also agree it's a very strong album. But yeah, that was very interesting.
You know what I think the difference is? This album had palatable storytelling
and like good songs.
So like very direct, in your face, you're keeping up with it. A lot of the other stuff he does, though we love it,
it's like conceptual.
It's conceptual, and you really got to think. So this one, it kind of hits you right off jump. Like,
and then we got to be honest too. He has the microscope on him and Drake, that whole situation. So I think I'm looking at both of them a little bit differently after their quote unquote beef, right? After their head up this year. I'm looking at everything that they've done since. And so when I hear and when I see Kendrick and consuming the stories that he's able to tell in the way that he's able to tell them, it kind of just puts a little bit more space in between the greatest rapper of all time, between him, Drake, just the contemporaries, just the landscape. And I said the end was for nostalgia, because even though we're talking about these guys in 2024 going into 2025, they've been out since I've been in high school, since we've been in high school.
That ass.
And some of y'all listeners since y'all been in elementary school, and some of y'all real old niggas since y'all been
in college.
Yeah, like they have been around is my point, right? Like, and so I don't want to take that for granted, and they're operating at a very high level. But at this point in particular, we've probably never compared the three of them in a way that we are today compared to how we have done in the past.
You mean like we haven't compared the three like this directly in a while, or you mean like ever?
Because
I think
I want to say ever, honestly.
No, I think in a while. I thought like back then, like 2014, we would always compare them.
Always.
And then for 10 years, like we didn't. They were off doing their own thing. People took hiatuses and such or whatever. And then Drake was dropping all these hits all the time. Yeah. And then now we're back to always mentioning them in the same sentence, in the same tweets, I feel like.
For sure. Yeah. And again, let's just bring it back to GNX. I think that's what this album did for me, per se. There are a few songs that I do want to highlight. I think we should start with the beginning. Alex, how do you feel like you took the time to digest this? Right. I couldn't wait to hear your thoughts personally.
Oh my God, so many thoughts, so many skews.
I couldn't wait.
A lot of us were in the same boat, right? What is the next Kendrick album going to sound like post the battle, right? We heard what Meet the Grams sound like. We heard what Not Like Us was with the Mustard sound. We saw what Euphoria did, produced by Cardo and Soundwave. We just saw how different each song was. So for me personally as a fan, I was like, I wonder what this album is gonna sound like. And to SaVon's point, it did not disappoint. Things that surprised me is how he finally kind of leaned into the West Coast stuff, right? Inviting a lot of those underground, street level artists up on the album, on the project, things of that nature. That was really dope to see. I think the biggest takeaway I took from this album, GNX also, you guys probably know now, that is Grand National, Buick. Limited. I think it was only about 100 or so made. I think the last one actually sold for over $100,000. Like, these types of cars are not, though it may seem like an older car, it's hard to get. But again, the thing that stuck out to me the most was I felt seen.
Oh, what do you mean?
I felt very seen. Throughout this project, of course, he references the battle and Drake or Old Boy, shit, or even Snoop or Lil Wayne, right?
Do you want to start with the first song real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I could play a little bit better. Let's see. I love the mariachi singer. I thought this was a nice touch to give it like a theme.
That LA feel.
Real quick, when he says "fuck apologies," I want to see y'all geeked up.
Yes.
Who is that to?
You know who that's to.
I don't.
It sound well. We don't know, but we can speculate.
But who? Yeah.
Well, who apologized?
So there's two ways that this could have gone. Fuck apologies could have been, yo, fuck mending things with Drake. Or
Drake never apologized.
I know, but a lot of people are saying because Future, we didn't even get to talk about that either on the pod. But Future and Metro Boomin, they did a GQ interview, I believe, and they didn't apologize, but they kind of act very delusional. They were in Delulu.
Yeah, I hated that.
They're like, wait, what beef? What?
But you know what that sounded like?
They were in Delulu land.
That sounded like Young Thug came home. So everybody, let's get on the same page again.
I don't know
that's what it sounds
like.
like.
I agree. Like I can see that meaning, but there have been a lot of people who have apologized, a lot of people who have backtracked.
Yep.
Yes, obviously, I think J. Cole is the first person that comes to mind when you talk about apologizing when it comes from Kendrick or Drake. But I think when he says fuck apologies, I think there could have been a lot of people who say, yo, man, maybe you went a little bit too hard on Drake, or maybe like there's a lot of things that apologies could have been applied to because they did a lot of damage this year.
That is a fact. That's crazy. Lil Wayne down, whatever though.
Fire.
We didn't get to talk about that.
We did not get to talk about that. And since then, Lil Wayne has replied and said, hey, leave the sleeping giant alone, or leave me alone, blase, blase. Something along those lines. Hey, you know, I've been coming up in here and defending Wayne, right?
I don't know why.
These last, you know why.
No, I do know why.
Yeah, you better stop. We just starting this podcast. You better stop.
I'm joking.
I've been coming up here and, you know, defending Wayne just in terms of like, us as fans should respect him, respect what he's done.
For sure.
But we can hit this real quick, in and out. Wayne, this is not what you want. That battle would go, Kendrick would basically tell him about himself. Yo, you the reason we addicted to lean.
And there's a lot to tell Lil Wayne.
It's so much to tell him. But again, we hold him to a certain standard because he's one of our legends. We grew up on him. But Kendrick would tell you about yourself, bro. You don't want to do that. I hope that's been silenced. I heard he went in the booth.
Did you?
That's what Joe said. Joe said he went in the booth after he heard
Joe
reference.
Biden?
Joe Budden.
Okay. All right. I know that's your man and all. I just want to make sure that people know. No, Budden.
Oh.
Because you just said Joe very matter of fact.
Yeah.
All. I just
on a first name basis.
Yeah, that's your man.
That's your guy.
Nah, it is.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
But real quick, just to kind of piggyback on the Lil Wayne point.
Yeah.
I came across this clip. Now, I don't know if he was trolling. This is back in the day when he was in his prime, but this is what Lil Wayne said now. I hope somebody can find the full clip. I know this is the Need to Know podcast, but I told you at the beginning of this episode, I like to be wrong sometimes. But this is a clip that came from Lil Wayne. This is not AI.
It can't be done by many. I can't be the first to say that it can't be done by me. I don't know how to battle rap. I don't know how to, that's what if you, for instance, you don't see me diss. I don't diss people. I don't really know how to do that. I don't know how to battle rap, talk about what you got on. I don't know how to do that shit.
I mean, I heard what he sent towards Pusha T back in the day. Was that Ghoulish?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't it.
That's just not his thing. Now, maybe he has something to prove. Maybe there's people in his ear. You know, I don't know, but I think he should stand down.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe assessment.
I think he should stand down.
Yeah,
I think
we love you, but not this time.
These next few bars is pretty revealing. I haven't heard anybody really talk about it this way.
And real quick, Kendrick is in shape.
Physically,
mentally, for a rap battle, in his prime, in his 30s, for a rap battle, anything. Just leave it alone right now, man. You
Any
heard
thoughts?
him. You heard him.
I did hear him.
Snoop, you got to put them edibles down.
He sent a friendly jab at Snoop. He said, "Hey, Unc, I love you, but I seen that." So that's what that was.
Can we? That was another thing too that they were. That was some of the discourse around when it's released. That was a jab at both Snoop and Lil Wayne, right? Right? Because the next bar is fuck it though. Everybody questionable, right? I think that's a safe assessment to be like. Everybody keeps remixing the word they want to use, right? Whether it be a shot or a response. I don't know.
I wouldn't consider it a shot. I mean, it is pointing out the obvious because Wayne did come out and say, "Oh, he was disappointed" and all that.
But the next bar though, when he says, "Fuck it though, everybody questionable," whatever though, everybody questionable.
Yeah, that says a lot.
That says a lot after just mentioning.
I don't know if it says a lot. I think it just says the truth. It says everybody is questionable.
So that would be considered a shot if I went into a dish, went on a song and did that to you.
Name.
I don't know if it's a shot more than it's just acknowledging this is what the industry is. Everybody's questionable.
Yeah, but it can still be a shot. I think we got to stop being dense with that.
He may have been a little high. Yeah, sure. I think if it was really a shot, he wouldn't have said Snoop's name. Right? I think they have close affiliations. We saw them both at the Super Bowl. We've seen them over the years. When Kendrick was considered the next one from the West Coast, that passed the torch moment where everybody from the West who meant something was on stage. Snoop was on stage, and they said, "Yo, it's you, right? Like you are the one." Snoop was there, so obviously they have relations and all of that shit. We don't know how deep it goes, but
and Snoop
we know they do have a relationship, right? Yeah. And so for him to say that, I think it was more so like, yeah, Snoop may have been high, everybody questionable. It's the reality of what the industry is. And I think
that's a fact.
He's pulling back the curtain of, yo, everybody is a little weird. There's some weird shit.
I agree with that.
You're weirdo.
I agree with that.
But I love you.
That's a fact. But I just feel like two things can be true.
For sure.
And I hate when we get dense. This is hip hop. This is rap.
For sure.
And
we've always dealt with shots in verses.
Yeah. And it seemed like very mild.
Yeah, it was mild. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? In and out.
Snoop didn't take it as a diss because Snoop came out and said, "Yeah, it was the edibles."
I knew that would be his reaction.
He did.
Snoop better not take it as a diss. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The next line though is where I feel like nobody has said this, and this is the beautiful thing about waiting 2 weeks to talk about some shit.
Right.
You kind of get to like.
See where everybody
assess what everybody's taking and what I really feel, because these kind of thoughts, right? Like when you take the time to digest the content, I'm not influenced by all of the other opinions that's out there. So when I heard the next bar, which was he said some shit about Nas is the only one that congratulated me.
Facts.
Won the Super Bowl and Nas the only one congratulated me.
That's what Kendrick said, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I heard that, I thought it was very strategic in why he mentioned Nas. Now, do we really think Nas is the only person that congratulated Kendrick?
Publicly? Yeah.
Period.
Publicly?
Yeah.
I mean, from what we saw.
Just period.
Maybe of that stature.
Because
a bunch of random rappers did congratulate him, but maybe he's not really focused on that.
Right.
Period. Right? Mm-hmm. Do we really think that Kendrick Lamar got announced that he was headlining the Super Bowl halftime show? Mm-hmm. Now, for those who may not live in America, for those who may not know, the Super Bowl is the most watched program of every year in this country. In this specific country. We're not talking about the World Cup, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But for what we're talking about now, this is the biggest event that an entertainer can get because it has the most eyes, the most visibility. Mm-hmm. For him to single out Nas being the only person that congratulated him, it made me think about when J. Cole said, "I let Nas down."
Like the reverse of that?
I think that there is some type of correlation with him highlighting how Nas was proud of him by congratulating him, while also remembering Nas was the one rapper, the one MC. Although J. Cole has been affiliated and was signed to Hove at some point, he made a song called I Let Nas Down. Meaning, at some point, he did want his approval. And I don't know where they stand today, but I do believe that Kendrick was very intentional about saying, yo, Nas congratulated me through all of the shit that J. Cole, Drake, all of these guys are doing today.
You're saying with the connection
I
with J.
think
Cole.
there's a connection between him
Okay.
throwing that out there. Like, yeah, Nas the only one that congratulated me.
I see what you're saying. Like, there's a connection. Like, oh, I mentioned Nas, and remember when Nas was disappointed in J. Cole? Like, that's what you're saying. But I feel like that would be a stronger like theory if Nas was continuously disappointed in J. Cole and J. Cole never got Nas's approval. But literally right after all that happened, Nas made a song like made Nas proud. So he's like now he is proud of J. Cole. So I feel like that's not really like a ha like I have Nas's approval and you don't.
I don't-
That makes sense.
I don't know if it's specific to Cole, but I do think there's some significance there that he mentioned it. For instance, he dropped his album the same day on Ice Cube. Ice Cube put out an album that day. Ice Cube, West Coast, LA, I know the vibes. I didn't see Ice Cube publicly congratulate Kendrick. Shit, if I'm wrong, look it up. I didn't even see Snoop do it. So to him, I know he's looking like, yo, here I am over here on the West Coast. And look at that East Coast cat, Nas, over there showing me love. And I'm not even buddy with him, right? Like I should have more of affiliations with Dre, Cube, etc. So I see where you're going with it. I see where you're going.
Was Nas really the only big person that congratulated him?
I don't think
I'm
so.
trying to think. I'm like, wait.
Of that ilk, I think so.
I feel like I saw everyone talking about it that day, but I'm really trying to think if we really didn't see anybody else.
He can't be the only one that co-signed this, right? Or acknowledge it. Because we know Jay-Z is the one person who has to sign off on these things.
Oh, that's a shoe-in. No, that don't count.
No, it does count.
No.
It does matter the people that you acknowledge.
Yeah, but it
It
sounds
couldn't
like
happen without Hove.
Of course, but it sounds like he's mad at people for not doing it publicly. That's what it sounds like. Like, damn, I got the Super Bowl and Nas the only one showing love. To your point, name me another person of that ilk who congratulated
Well,
him.
to be honest, I didn't even know Nas congratulated him.
I
didn't see that.
I was like, I didn't even see
If
that.
I'm honest, me personally, I didn't see it.
I saw
And
it.
I'm not saying it didn't exist. And as you say, you saw it.
Yeah.
But I think, again, going back to what we said about these caliber of artists,
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar is very intentional. And so there's no way that nobody on the West Coast congratulated him. There's no way that nobody of stature didn't congratulate him. Like, especially he has the relationships with the Dr. Dre's, with the Eminems, obviously the Snoop Dogg's, all of these people. The Jay-Z literally had to sign up. Like, Hove caught heat for being a part of making this decision, right? I know Lil Wayne, he might have been upset about it because he didn't get that nod. But for him to single out Nas, I think that says a lot. It just made me go to let Nas down.
Like
That's what it did.
You're saying he did that like for a specific reason.
In my,
singling out Nas.
When I heard that, yes.
I think that's a good point.
And then what also helps later in this album,
Yeah.
He had another song that was Man at the Garden, I'm sorry. Man at the Garden, which is almost like a spin off of One Mic, which is one of Nas's most iconic songs. That was one of the songs that introduced me to hip hop. I watched that video. I saw that video. I was like, holy shit, I love this genre of music because of that video. Like, it's a very impactful song. And we see the influence of Nas even in Kendrick Lamar. So we don't got to stay too much longer on that line, but I thought that was pretty interesting. I think the next few lines is really, really interesting as well.
Can I just say real quick, my favorite phrase ever when people are like switching up on me and stuff, I love saying, is it Uchiwali or One Mic? Like, get it together. Anyway, sorry, I just had to mention that.
Yeah. Against all odds, I showed up as a gentleman. To be specific.
This part is pretty important. For me, at least.
Yeah, nigga.
Because this moment where he just drops it out.
I do. Yeah, nigga. Couldn't entertain, old boy.
Maybe I missed that part, but there was a moment in this song where he dropped the beat out, and a lot of people were trying to speculate what he was saying. Those lyrics.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard the J. Cole stuff. I don't believe it.
What did you hear?
It sounded like fuck. I wish you had it queued up, but
I'll find it.
the first, like the second one is definitely the Diddy shit, of course. Like when he was referencing everybody laughing around, but y'all about to be on trial next, some shit like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely Diddy. The first one, no clue, because he started it with the.
Yeah, there was no real context behind it to even like put it together.
But I could hear a the.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I can't really code it down. But a marvelous way to start the album.
Yeah.
Right? Like, of course, the premise of the song is that, yo, I got a mural in my city and they whacked it out. And then at the same token, double C's, my OG Crip homie Snoop looked like he whacked out when he was supporting Taylor Made, right? Just so many meanings that you could fit by the name, but also just the energy.
Got straight to it.
Got straight to it. Like, let me set the tone for y'all real quick about where my head is at, how I'm feeling, etc. And I truly love that.
Yeah. And every song to me like had a different flavor. It didn't feel like they kind of blended in. They all like stood on their own in a sense.
12 songs.
Yeah.
Super concise, that's probably what gave it away to me, that I knew that something else was on the way.
Like the real album.
Yeah. Two things, right? 12 songs. I think his last album had about 18, 19, almost 20 songs. Had a bunch of songs.
I will say Alex mentioned this as one of his first points where you were like, oh, I didn't know what his next project would sound like.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not just saying this just because like we got the project, but my hunch was that it was going to be a West Coast LA-ish album because of Not Like Us, and then the song he previewed, which wound up being Reincarnated. I was like, okay, his next project is going to be a love letter to LA, especially because the pop out, like this is just the theme right now.
Yeah.
So I did think the album was going to be like that, but I thought he was going to drop it in like late January, and it was going to be a full era, like a long ass album just with LA shit. I didn't know it was going to be like this, even though this album is super strong. I personally feel like if he dropped this album just as a standalone, The Beef Never Happened, I do think it would still be a really great just album. It just like has amazing songs, everything, but I don't know. But now that we got the LA album out of the way, I don't know if the next album he's going to do it again. So I'm really curious now because I'm like, what else is he going to do?
I think he shows more of his versatility on a deluxe. Like there's a rumor deluxe. Also, if you guys don't know, Lefty Gunplay, who was featured on TV Off, one of the LA artists, he did bootleg Kev interview, and I don't know if he was supposed to leak this information or not, but he did say that there's a potential deluxe on the way. Before he even told me that, again, I saw the 12 songs. I saw the Heart Part 6.
Yeah.
Kendrick usually puts out that Heart series right before a project is going to come out. And salute to Dodie Six, salute to Lefty Gunplay, all of those LA artists.
Wale the Sensei,
right? AZ Chike, right? Like, salute to all of those great artists.
That's dope for them.
Super dope for them.
Yeah,
right?
imagine landing on a Kendrick project. Like
what? And these songs placed on the Billboard.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and the West Coast needed it.
West Coast absolutely needed this. I mean, before you're talking like before the.
No, I just think they needed it in general.
I mean, Tyler sold pretty well this year.
But we're not going to do that.
What you mean? He did 300.
Oh, he lived on the West Coast. Nobody associated with Tyler with traditional, marketable West Coast music. Like, he's always been the outcast.
That's fair. But
up until recent, it's been cool to be like, yo, he's West Coast.
Brody.
No, it's the truth. He's never been looked at, yo, he's West Coast.
It's your opinion,
so why wasn't he on that stage when Kendrick was Dawn, the next big one from the West Coast?
I don't know.
He's never been embraced by the West Coast.
The game wasn't there. Is the game not West Coast? What I'm trying to say is, it's the truth. He wasn't.
That's different.
The game had his albums produced by Dr. Dre when he got introduced to the game.
Do you know
let's not do that.
But my point
he was produced by Dr. Dre.
Do you know how many LA artists I can name that weren't present at the pop-up show? That's not a direct correlation.
I'm not talking about the pop-up show.
But you just mentioned. I was just replying to that.
I wasn't talking about the pop-up show. I said when Kendrick was on stage being heralded as the next one of the West Coast years ago.
Okay.
Right? Tyler, the Creator, has never been acclaimed in that way up until recent. And we don't got to stay there. I don't want to make this about Tyler, Kendrick. I just think you conflate the two lived on the West Coast. He's been a West Coast. He is, but he's never been associated with that genre, with that style of music. He's just been somebody who grew up on the West, who happened to be super popular, super successful, but he hasn't really been embraced in that way up until recently, in my opinion.
I mean,
And
LA
salute.
is really big though. Like, it's not like he's definitely not the whole Compton, LA vibe that
The
Kendrick
gang
gets.
street
But
shit,
like,
yeah.
Tyler is very, very
Yeah,
LA.
and
Like,
that's-
he's
and
a
that's-
different
but that's
type
what I'm
of
saying.
LA.
Like, I don't want you to speak so definitely when we not from LA, bro. Like, yes, he's not West Coast crip walk, but he does have an LA sound to him. Did he create his own? Absolutely. But again, we don't have to stay on that. The whole point I was making was that I definitely do think that a deluxe is coming or another project is on the way. I was mentioning, I never got to finish this point about why I identified with it. And songs like Man at the Garden, where he kind of essentially flips one mic from Nas, is how I feel seen. Like, the entire project just sounds like, and he did a bit of this on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I said, when we first reviewed that album, I came up here and said, yo, he's gradually starting to grow on me more and more because of where I am at my life as a man. You feel what I'm saying? At my age and going into my 30s, or the latter part of my 20s. And this album just had a lot of that, like shedding old ways, shedding old habits, trying to be a better man, positive affirmations for yourself as an individual. I like the booty shaking music too. I like the drill. I like the trap. Double cheek, triple cheek, whatever you want. I'm into it, right? But to see an artist at that magnitude, that level, figure out ways to incorporate how to be a better person, and we're seeing that transformation, I felt seen, real talk, because he's always been a guy who's pretty reserved, right? Even in these music videos we see him doing, he just dancing, chilling, he vibing. But those types of people, like those calm people who you can never put your finger on, you can't, don't take them for granted.
Damn, you know what's crazy?
I love a calm man.
Yeah, you saying that makes me think of the juxtaposition of Drake. Because in Drake's music, Drake, correct me if I'm wrong, you rarely hear Drake talking about his progression or him, what it's like for him to be a man growing up, or what he has to change or feels like he has to change.
We only got in like some of his earlier works, right?
Yeah.
And one of the last episodes we put out, that's why I thought it was oh shit, reincarnated.
I ain't mean to play that.
Boy got excited.
I ain't mean to play that.
Nah, you good. But one of the reasons why I mentioned it looked like a little bit of Arrested Development for Drake, because you get to see his counterpart who's on the other side of things. And also, this shit is turning to politics now. I don't know if you guys have realized, you can't like both artists now. You got to pick a side, which is fucking corny as fuck to me. But yeah, you're just seeing the duality of man on this project. Like, yeah, I be with the killers. Yeah, I be with some niggas that's on that shit. But yo, I love God. I put God first. Yeah. Right, just the duality of man is what stuck out to me all throughout this project. And yeah, like for instance, Man at the Garden. Look how he intros this shit. Twice emotional stability, of sound body and tranquility. I deserve it all. Like minds and less enemies, stock investments, more entities. I deserve it all. VVS, white dominance. How can one not relate to this shit? At least if you're on your road to progression. Like, you hear some of this music, man, you stomach it very differently. It's like, wow, like, I'm starting to relate to this shit, man. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm transforming.
Like, I love to fuck a white bitch once in a while.
He ain't say that on there.
Not on this album.
He ain't say that on Mr. Morale.
But you said I'm not perfect. He said, he said I like to fuck white bitches once in a while. What the fuck?
Mr. Morale was largely about this, about how he's so imperfect and he's like dealing with so many things and battling with, I want to like live out these morals, but I'm really like imperfect.
And some of the slight from that album was that maybe wasn't enough hits for people.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It was like a little, not what I'm saying, but people saying it was a little too introspective.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes he does that.
No, absolutely.
Like, let's be real.
No,
let's be honest.
right. That's what I'm getting to.
Like,
that's why I appreciated this album so
it gave you a little bit of everything.
It was a combination of the both. Right?
Like, it was like good. That's why I feel like I sound so basic when I keep saying it had such good songs. Yeah, but literally the songs were good. Like, it was like songs.
Yeah, they could all stand
like
alone.
Luther, TV Off.
Right.
But what I believe, like, right, when I hear this album, I am really happy for the West Coast, selfishly. So I did a thing. I did a quick exercise, and I really tried to think about how to create the greatest version of each artist when it came to Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole. Them at their fullest potential. Now, I'm going to relate this to, my life experience and let you know how I got here. So what I like to believe in is I was raised by a village of people. There was a village that raised me. Obviously, my mom and my dad, they had me. But to make the man that I am today, it took a village. It took my grandparents. It took my aunts. It took my uncles. It took my cousins. I pulled from a lot of different places to be who I am. Although it only took 2 people fucking to make me, right? So when I think about somebody like a Kendrick, and I had Reincarnated queued up because not only it is a phenomenal song from just the creativity, the messaging, the viewpoint, his POV in this song, the beat, the cadence, the flow. This song for me, right? When I listen to it, it kind of put a bow on, oh, yeah, no. He is top 3, top 2 of all time. For me personally.
Reincarnation is not regular music.
This is not regular music.
Nobody dick sucking over here, nobody coat riding. We just speaking from a music perspective. You enjoy music. Oh, that's their new shit, right? Glaze. Hey, yeah, I don't even know how to do that, y'all. So my fault. I don't know how to glaze. But yes, you can't be stupid to make a song like that.
I'm just gonna play like the first verse.
Like it's very high level.
This is not
just the musicality of it. To be able to be like, yo, cue this up. I'ma just go and do this with it.
No.
Like,
yes.
This is insane.
Yes.
Now, when I heard this song, obviously this is a Tupac flip. Anybody who knows like Tupac, that's the first thing I heard.
Yeah.
The very next thing that I heard was the influence that Tupac had, not only of him.
Made niggas by Tupac.
But Eminem. Do y'all not hear Eminem when y'all hear that song? Or maybe y'all just be digging in the crates a little bit crazy.
The delivery of his voice.
It sounds like he's channeling Stan or something.
He's channeling
something else.
He's pulling from so many different things, like the voice inflection, the cadence, the song, right? So this album told me, oh shit, if Nas, Eminem, and Tupac had a baby, right?
Wow.
They would create Kendrick Lamar. And for so many different reasons, when it comes from marketability, when it comes from having a message, when it comes from storytelling, he's taken the greatest elements of those 3 artists to me and culminated it into himself.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
He has the West Coast from Tupac. He has the messaging from Tupac. Yo, I stand for something is from Tupac. Like, he got all of that. The bravado, he got that all from Pac. The storytelling, nobody is a better storyteller in hip hop than Nas to me. He has the storytelling from Nas. In this song, he's telling a story, right? While taking Tupac's cadence, but also inflecting in a way that I hear Eminem personally.
And creating his own story.
Like,
it's crazy.
He's taking the greatest of greats, and you could just see and feel and hear like he is a student. He is a true product of hip hop. And now me, somebody who grew up, like, I was blessed to be born in 1994.
Damn.
That's a good year.
I was blessed to be born in 1994. Now, there were people that came before me that was artists, and there was an era that came before me that I didn't get to witness. And I think everything that happened before me, before 94 to like 97, before that age range, they were still trying to figure it out. But I think when Hove came, I think when DMX came, I think when Eminem came, I think when Nori was, I think when Nelly, I think when all of these different iterations of artists came out, they were starting to like master what this shit was. And Kendrick being 37 years old and Drake being 38 years old, right? Having that ability to just consume all of these things, I think Kendrick really took from the greatest and just, he's just a student and took his own life experience and said, yo, I am going to be the super MC.
Yeah.
And like this song for me just said that. And I know it's because he has the Pac flip and it sounds like I said all the things that I said about this song and this cadence and this verse. But he just created himself to be the ultimate just rapper today. And
Like a Frankenstein.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never thought to compare Kendrick and Eminem, like until you just said that. And I was just thinking about it as you was talking. And for me, immediately what I went through was not just the voice inflection, which on this song is like very present. It's very similar to Eminem, but like kind of like, I don't know the right word for it, but kind of like angst, that dark angst. When I'm thinking of what he did with fucking Meet the Grams, like that is very Eminem. Like to me, the angst. Shit. Like he could really go there. Like he could go there. So that's a great point.
We used to call Eminem Slim Shady.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. Like I thought he was Slim Shady.
Marshall Mathers.
That was a character of who he is. It's an alter ego. Slim Shady, Eminem, all of these different. Like he is able to tap into, and I don't know if he gave himself a name, whether it be Kung Fu Kenny, K. Like I don't know who he is when he gets into this dark bag. I don't know who the fuck he is when he starts talking about he wants to take my soul. I don't know what it is. I'm a lonely soul. Like he just gets into a different space in artistry that these motherfuckers just really can't keep up with, or they haven't been able to show,
or even attempted to do so. Right, like on Reincarnated, he made a visual picture of how prevalent the devil has been throughout the music industry while creating his own story, and how unfortunately a lot of the times our ego and vices get in the way of all of our greatness and all that's to come. To be able to do that while channeling other energies, while it's like a entendre verse of sorts, right? Like this is not regular music. I highly appreciate it, and I want to see more people attempt to do this type of music. Again, formulaic rap is right in front of us. It's right there. We like it. We love it. We all, come on, like I said all the time, we all got a Drake song we love, right? But when you see an artist actually go into the studio and attempt to do something that isn't being done currently or hasn't been done before, you see an artist that's really trying to push their limits. They really trying to show y'all the talent. And this is why I think I am who I am. Another thing with this album, that's what it sounds like to me. All the people who say, yo, who did Kendrick think he is, man? That nigga not bigger than Drake. Oh, this is who I be. I'm him. I'm him that feels deeply. I feel sadness. I feel happiness. I feel angst, like Regi just mentioned. I feel want. And there's a reason why I feel like I deserve these things. Yeah. It's just sprinkled all throughout the album.
It feels like he's like in his flow state.
Yeah. Like in a very comfortable flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy because obviously we're going to discuss and talk about Drake a little bit later. But when you say, the comparisons in every passing day, every passing song that drops, it just reminds me or it reinforces the fact like there's culture and then there's manufactured pop stars.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think for a very long time, we were convinced and led astray.
Damn.
And to believe that Drake was culture because he's been at the forefront of so many different changes and so many different sounds in music, right? Like, I think he did an amazing job at helping Afro beats. And Alex, you tell me if I'm wrong. You was the first person to put me on Afro beats, right? Like, no, and I'm being honest, right? Like, I know we talk a lot and I may say some things that's out of pocket to like make a joke, hee hee ha ha. But no, in real life, like you was the first person to put me on like, yo, there's a wave that's happening in Africa right now, SaVon. These artists, they're phenomenal. They just haven't crossed over. Drake has always been somebody who has introduced new sounds, new waves. Not that it didn't exist before him, but he always had the microscope on him to bring that wave to the States, to the forefront, to mainstream, right? Like, I don't know the last time I heard him on an Afrobeat song.
Should have been this summer.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's introduced a lot of different waves into the space to where it's like, all right, it is almost like a placebo effect, or it's almost like it's been a trick to say, oh yes, he's been culture because he's introduced different cultures, or maybe he just put magnifying glasses on different cultures, but it's never really been him. He's just been really good at playing a role. And I'm starting to feel and see that more because Kendrick seems and feels like he is the culture. And this kind of leads us to like this whole Drake situation with the petition and the lawsuit, right?
Right.
We don't gotta move on. You got something to say about that before we
because I kind of see what you're saying. For me, it's I don't know if I looked at him as he wasn't of the culture. But today, it's as clear as day that I fell victim to the formula. Like, real shit. I was putting Drake above cats like just really talented lyricists because of everything he encompassed, right? Like you said, he crossed over to different genres, different types of music. So as fans over the years, we're like, damn, Drake raps really well and can sing and can do all of that. When in actuality, bro was really just applying the formula and it was working at a high rate.
So you don't think that could be still part of him?
What do you mean?
So Drake has been known to do a bunch of different genres, a bunch of different types of music, and as SaVon said, introduce a whole different type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
You don't think part of that could actually be who he is?
That's what I was kind of thinking of, because I'm like, I get that. I get the point of like Drake always like borrows from different waves and all this. Like that has been a critique he has received for his entire career. Like, oh my God, you just fucking bite off of everybody. Culture vulture, all that stuff. But I feel like, I don't know if I agree with the statement that like Drake himself is not culture, because you can't be the biggest star we've ever seen in our lifetime and have like nothing but borrowing from people. I feel like even just things of like, we're like, oh, we're gonna listen to Drake's album and come up with Instagram captions. Like that is culture to me. That is pop culture, and that's like him. He did that. Like his like sound of doing the rap singing and how much that's influenced everybody. Like I do think that Drake is culture, and I don't want us to get carried away and be like, yo, he doesn't have culture. You
because
know?
to answer you, and I love what you said, Reggie. To Pierre's point, though, I feel like it's a formula that he created. You know, and it was working so well.
I don't think
like I'm gonna make a hit here.
I'm gonna make a hit here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do a pop song. I'm gonna go do an R&B joint. And again, we're getting so blinded by it because of the output, and it sounds really good. But when you get Kendrick now in the last however many months, damn, this sounds like a dude with some real intention here. And now your eyes start to open up just a little bit more, where you're like, damn, son, like I didn't even realize I just was so accustomed to the formula. And I love the formula. I love everything that was under the umbrella.
I think there's a little bit of recency bias in what you're saying, if I'm being honest.
I'm listening. But like, in what way? Because I think everything we're saying here is recency bias. Yeah. Right?
Kendrick did, again, the album is phenomenal, and I think a lot of what happened in the beef played its role into Kendrick now, you know, surfacing to how he is now.
Like a victory lap.
Right. So, but and it took all of that for us to be here right now digesting this great album. So I wouldn't say, like, I just think you saying that, hey, like it took Kendrick putting all this stuff out to see how kind of Drake really was, just putting us out.
I'm gonna tell you why I think you're missing my point. Like I said, like with Kendrick, I'm seeing the intention, right? We've always critiqued Kendrick about not releasing as much music over the years, right?
For sure.
There have been spans where as a year go by, 2 years, almost 3, 4, 5 years go by, and we haven't heard from him, right? And in that time, we get the formula. We get all of the hits that we like. But again, it's impossible to see the other side of what that looks like if we're not being fed it. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay.
So now when you get a Kendrick who's being intentional, even down to the diss tracks, he didn't take Drake lightly.
Yeah.
Drake took him lightly.
For sure.
But you're hearing like the intention this artist is putting and why he feels like he's number one with the intention. As opposed to Drake is super talented, uber talented, love his music, great across all genres, but it's not intentional. It's just working.
Drake's music throughout his career not being super intentional is definitely something that we have been saying for a long time, and I think it's valid. Yeah. But he just makes phenomenal music.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. You know, I was blind to it.
And this is why, like, there's certain lists, right, that we have. It's the best rapper, it's the best hip-hop artist. Like, there's certain lists that we apply people to be on. And there's a tree that, again, I think, like J. Cole. When I hear and look and think about J. Cole, there's an artist that comes to mind for me. And we don't got to stay here. I do want to get to Drake. But like J. Cole, I see and I hear a combination of Andre 3000, right? I think his approach is Andre 3000 times 3000. Right? Like he loves being the common man. He loves being able to hide amongst the regular folks. He's uber talented, ultra respected, super skilled, has the catalog, right? Like, I think we're now at this phase where I'm looking at these artists where there's certain trees that they're pulling fruit from. I think Drake is way closer to Kanye than he is a Jay-Z. And I think we try to get into these rankings where it's like, oh, he's 1, he's 2, he's 3. And it's like, all right, cool. We're now at the stage and the phase of hip hop when we have examples of what certain people are and what the shining star is to be, right? When it comes to being the ultimate rapper, the ultimate rapper has been Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate hip hop artist has been Kanye West, right? You can go to some countries and a lot of people will be a lot more familiar with Kanye than they will be Jay-Z. But if you go to the barbershop is 9 times out of 10 is going to tell you that Jay-Z is a better rapper than Kanye West. So like we have these subgenres and we have these babies of babies and all of these people, right? Like a lot of people like personally, I think of Tyler the Creator, I think of Pharrell. You get what I'm saying? Like we're able, and I don't know if this is a conscious effort that some of these artists made. Like I don't think Kendrick Lamar said, oh shit, I'm going to take Nas, Eminem, and who was the third person that I said? It was Nas, Eminem, and... Fuck, I had this written down.
Tupac?
And Tupac. Thank you. Yeah. And maybe he did say, yo, I'm going to take Pac because we see the influence that Pac has on him.
He loved Pac.
He loved Pac. Yeah.
He wanted to slap Snoop over that Pac. You heard him. He said, get off them edibles.
Right, like, I don't know if they did that, but... before we kind of transition into Drake, because I know we got to talk about the lawsuit. I know we spent a lot of time on GNX. Is there anything else that y'all want to talk about with GNX? Again, I think it was a great project. I think it has a lot of replay value. I think, again, for me personally, some of the West Coast influenced songs, like, it's not for me, but that's exactly what it was. It wasn't for me. Kendrick didn't make this album thinking about New York. Yeah. He didn't.
Like, you're not the target audience.
I'm not the target audience. Yeah, like it's not for me, and that's cool. But what I could pull from it, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a phenomenal artist, rapper, storyteller, and I took from it. And even if I only love 3 to 4 songs, those songs are so great and they resonate with me, and they are the essence of what I know hip hop and rap to be. Where I'm like, oh yeah, he's easily top 3.
I mean, he's coming to New York
easily. Of course, he's coming to New York. Of course, with his new album that will, TBD to be revealed. He's also going on tour.
Yep.
He's going on tour. He announced a tour with SZA, the Grand National Tour. I think that's dope. I think maybe if he really wanted to get spicy, we know Drake is planning a collab album with Party Next Door.
Oh, that ain't coming out.
Wait, what happened since we last spoke?
A lot.
Oh wait, did I miss something? Sorry guys, I didn't have service.
No, this is Alex's conspiracy brain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this wasn't an official announcement.
And I've been coming in here this podcast and saying
I genuinely believe I missed some big news.
Nah, just with all of this petitions,
my phone was in panic mode.
I don't think that album comes out anytime soon, at least.
Well, I think
too much going on.
I think there is
too much going on.
A possibility that SZA and Kendrick maybe make a project together.
That would shatter the earth.
Luther is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Luther. Oh my God.
The way she comes into it.
Glory is amazing.
Yeah. Luther was my favorite song. Yes. Well, we didn't talk about it, and I also don't have much to say besides that I love it. My favorite song is Dodger Blue. It reminds me of all my LA girls. I have a lot of LA friends. I'm so happy that they I'm so happy that they have this song. But yes, Luther's amazing. SZA and Kendrick, that chemistry has always been amazing. Yeah. So that's SaVon. I hope you spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I think that could be like, because if I'm doing the Jadakiss or the Lox versus Dipset, right? I know your hand. You showed me your hand. You told me you about to come out with P&D. I bet, yo, SZA, pull out. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna do every single thing ahead of time. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't put it past them. I can see a project.
You're gonna make
and they went on tour.
You're gonna make their partner project look dumb.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the 8 Mile Eminem, which is everything that you could say about me. I'm gonna say it and then some. I'm gonna go on tour and sell out stadiums because you don't think I could do that.
Yes.
I'm gonna make the R&B hip hop album with the R&B superstar and SZA because you apparently try to play like, what did Drake say? He making songs like you try to free the slaves. Like you trying to paint me as an artist that can only talk about being woke. And yes, that is an element of what it is that I do. But I can also do all of these other things. So I'm gonna do all of these other things before I do the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Like,
and he did tell
I'm collecting Infinity Stones on you, nigga. What the fuck?
He did. Let's not forget, he did tell him, he begged him to drop.
Drop
What time?
a 50
Wait, what was the exact line Drake said again? Like, you rapping like you trying to free the slave.
Slave.
Yeah.
I just feel like
How did he
quickly
not know?
mentioning like for Drake to say that,
Oh my god.
and he's Canadian and he's half white, like just for him to say that is so insane. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking, bro? Like,
Reggie, it speaks to how out of touch our guys be, man.
bro, like I
Real
love
talk.
Drake, but like that was fucking
Out of touch
insane.
ball.
Like, you deserve to lose. I'm sorry. Like,
Drop.
he said you're rapping like you're trying to.
Drop a 50 fan when it's time,
How the lyrics go?
Oh, I was really trying to keep it PG. You asked for this. Why the fuck do you file a lawsuit or a petition, whatever it is? Why do you do that when you ask for it? Like, Kendrick, we need you. West Coast Savior. Like, I remember at the end of that song, because a lot of people didn't really like Taylor Made. I enjoyed Taylor Made.
I liked it.
I thought it was really
disrespectful.
creative
Yeah.
on what Drake did.
Yeah.
I thought he like, because both of them did Pac's flow over the last year, right? I thought Drake killed it. Like, that's one of my favorite songs from the battle. So the Taylor Made shit, right? I thought it was cool. But at the very end of Taylor Made, he says, nah, you gotta follow through. You ain't dying down
like,
from
dog.
this. You ain't running from the smoke. Nah. Like, you asked for you literally begged to be called a pedophile.
Yes.
He was telling you too.
Yeah, I was about to say Kendrick was warning him like, yo, don't.
And have an Amazon streamed event making fun of you.
Hey, in hindsight, Taylor Made might have been the most effectful diss track for Drake. Because that seems to be the one that really stung.
That
for
got under his skin.
That really got under Kendrick's skin. The nerve of you. You got fucking Snoop Dogg reposting this. You think you could fucking do Tupac voice, motherfucker? No, motherfucker. I got some on my album that's going to show you. That song really stuck out. I can't lie to you.
Can I play a little bit? Can I play a little bit of it?
Go ahead. Hell yeah.
Because a lot of this is not on streaming.
No, it's not.
I have this in like my archives. Like, shout out to Ice.
What a time.
Because Ice sent me this and I'm like, yo, I need this for life. Like,
Shout out to Ice.
this was one of my favorite songs. I think it was just super. Oh, you know what? You right. You the man.
You don't even got to
right under you.
I'm so used to like Bluetooth.
Right there. I'm like, SaVon, what are you playing? The audience can't hear that.
Nah, that was just.
I'm at the edge of my seat
Nah.
in anticipation to see.
I didn't know you love this song this much.
This is one of my favorite songs. Because I know the creativity that went into it.
Yeah, this stung. Kendrick was in the crib hot.
He mad as shit.
Kendrick was in the crib hot.
It sound like Pac. God, to read on.
Nah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, hearing this now is so crazy.
The nigga Tupac shouted out Joe Budden. Hold on. The nigga Pac said, heard it on the Budden podcast. It gotta be true.
Yo.
Fuck this Canadian light skin.
It gotta be true. 5'5", it gotta be you. What? In the House of Blues.
I'm sorry, this Taylor Made feels like a fever dream now.
Yeah. And
because like why would Drake do that?
Look what he was doing.
Kendrick was bubbling.
Like, he was so, Drake is crazy.
That's
You know
why
how
he was
many-
taking so long to drop,
You know how many push-ups Kendrick did after he heard that?
bruh.
Do you know
The
how many
angst.
blur?
He did all of them.
The
He
angst.
did,
What?
he did all the push-ups, yo.
Oh
And
my God.
hearing that now, Kendrick's hip hop West Coast savior.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, like yo, and you know he had all those West Coast artists on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he's playing his hand. Like, all right, you asked for this here you go.
I'm really gonna save the West Coast.
The
Like,
8 Mile effect.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
He's did the 8 Mile effect. Oh, word. All right, watch this. Hold
I
up.
got you.
what the hell is
Right? Right? That's a jumpsuit.
Yo, the fucked up part is all of this would have worked against a lesser opponent.
Yes.
That's the most
It
fun.
would have. It
Like,
would have.
But
Drake,
they're not
you was
Kendrick. They're not Kendrick.
Drake, you were supposed to take this little nigga so serious, bro.
Nah. But listen to what he doing with AI.
I know. Like, it was a joke for Drake right here. Look.
And then Snoop passed it to Drake. But like, listen to. Now, what the fuck you about to do? Yeah, I'm really about to play with this late game and play my fucking bowels moves.
You really do love this song.
Damn.
Like, wait, what?
You sick for knowing this shit word for word.
Bro,
Nah, he's talking though. He's talking though.
Talking.
Like,
He's talking.
I feel like
Yeah.
you said, this was one of the most impactful songs in this beat,
Most
but
effective.
it wasn't available on streaming. So
It
a lot of
wasn't.
people may have missed it. A lot of people may have
Yeah.
not really digested what was happening during this song in particular. Because after this song, Kendrick went into he turned into like
Super Saiyan mode.
Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan.
That ass.
This song really pushed
Triggered him.
it pushed this beef
Yes.
deeper.
Very deep.
The beef got deeper after this. Like I don't know. So I listened to the song a ton of times, like all of it, and
We
then
know.
even at the end, real quick. Let me just go. Can I go to the end, Reggie?
Yeah, I'm loving
You
this.
sure?
Yes. I like that you know it word for word because I don't know anybody else who does.
SaVon's in his bag right now.
Listen. Just listen. How you talking to Kendrick?
Talking high.
Oh my gosh.
dog
bro.
Drake,
Yeah,
man.
y'all
Little did you
forgot.
know.
Y'all
I forgot he like
My
did all
dog.
that on the song. But it's just so funny, like picturing him in the studio, like, yeah, Kendrick dropped, like just taunting him.
Nonchalantly.
And then this is a definition of getting humbled. Like he got so humbled.
But
like,
I will say Drake is supposed to do that. Everything he said.
Yeah, like talking
he's
shit,
supposed to-
yeah.
He's supposed to do that, but you
Yeah,
know what he's not
supposed
supposed to do? Start a petition. Follow lawsuit. You
Yo,
can't talk like that. And then Alex, I'll let you take it away. But like I needed people to be reintroduced to that song because a lot of people
Yeah.
may have missed that because
Yeah.
it wasn't on streaming. And I understand how valuable and how important streaming is. Like this whole lawsuit is based around streaming. The inflation of songs being inflated and the streams being inflated and all of those things. Like, I get it. But this was one of the songs that wasn't on a streaming platform
Mhm.
that I think played a very big part in this whole beef between Kendrick and Drake. Drake, you asked for this ass whooping.
No,
That-
literally. Like literally.
There's been a lot of times where I've been lit and I've been outside and I felt like, you know what? Anybody in here can get it but him. You know, like, you know
Because
what?
you gotta know. You gotta be
You
real
know
with
what?
yourself,
Like,
right?
Everybody in this spot, like, I'm waiting. But if this nigga decides to turn up,
Got a chip on your shoulder.
you know what? I'ma chill. I'ma chill. Drake never had that self-awareness to be like, he ain't the
Like
one.
let me not.
the craziest thing about this, now we get to look at it in hindsight, right?
Yeah.
And it's alleged that Drake has been in the middle of a negotiation for a new deal.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of got word of his last deal. It was upwards of $400 million. And it looks like he's fulfilled that. Now, do you know how bold you got to be to go up against a killer in the middle of negotiations and to put all of that stuff out? Because essentially what I'm trying to break down is you're really betting on yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Because this could go one or two ways. I win and I'm showing the label how valuable I am. I'm showing everybody else that, yo, I'm still him. My pen still work.
Mhm.
This shit worked against Common. This shit worked against Meek.
It's common to me.
And it
Damn.
worked against Kendrick.
I know.
Unfortunately, that isn't what happened. So to SaVon's point, Drake has some petitions that he has filed. And they're centered around Universal Music Group. I wanted to highlight that. This is not petitions. And this is a petition as of right now because he doesn't have all the information and all of the data.
Mhm.
Long story short, he's trying to get that stuff. So he's basically petitioning for UMG, Spotify. Open up the books. Let me see what's going on in there because, Reggie, I'll let you take it away.
Can I just read the words? The
please.
petition claims, this is just one part of it, but because he filed two,
Yes.
but I feel like this is like an important part of it. UMG's schemes to artificially inflate the popularity of Not Like Us were motivated, at least in part, by the desire of the executives at Interscope Records to maximize their own profits. So that is what the petition is claiming, which is what Alex is explaining.
Thank you, Regi. And that was the first one he put out.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait, there's more?
There's two.
There's two. The second one is for defamation.
You're so silly. Wait, there's more?
There's more? I think we should go one by one, though.
Yeah, I just want real quick. Yeah. Remember Russ.
Okay.
I don't want to.
He did tell us this.
What did he tell us?
He told us, hey, when the numbers look like this, what they're supposed to look, the industry will just, or the UMG or whoever will just throw a lot more streams on there just to inflate it. So I just want to highlight that. Russ did say that.
Thank you for highlighting that. I just thought that was something Drake knew. But let's do this shit one by one, because if not, we'll conflate everything. My first initial thought when I saw the first petition, which is Regi, what was it again? That UMG colluded with Spotify to dampen his numbers and things of that nature?
Yeah, Drake
artificially inflate the popularity of Not Like Us because of hidden motives of their executives wanting to, having their own motives.
Which is why I brought up to the bravery to do that within a rap battle is crazy, because you're really betting on yourself. My first reaction was, oh my God, yo, this nigga called the cops. And again, I want to make clear, we are aware that Drake is not petitioning Kendrick Lamar.
He is, but he's not. He is, but he's not.
Technically, he's not.
I
wanted to put that out there for the dense people.
But the subject matter is Not Like Us, which is from Kendrick Lamar.
Absolutely.
So I know the technicalities of it, and I appreciate you giving us that breakdown.
Yeah.
But from somebody who appreciates competition, from somebody who, we were heavily invested in this beef.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
This battle between Kendrick and Drake has created lifelong friendships between me and people in my life, because we happened to meet at the time, and it's like, oh my God, everything that's happening between these two guys at this magnitude is that big where we just have to discuss it. We have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can view this. The first way that I view this is Drake can never be viewed as a top 5 rapper of all time. You just can't. In my opinion may not hold a lot of weight.
You want to get down to the logistics first?
Let's go for it.
Because I see what you're saying, but I think it's better if really everyone understands where you're coming from.
Let's do it.
So essentially what he's looking for is data and evidence to complete the lawsuit of all the claims that him and his legal team are alleging. Essentially, Drake is looking for a smoking gun, y'all. He needs to prove that Not Like Us would have done the same or better if these alleged tactics weren't used. Mm-hmm. And that's a very hard thing to do. That's first things first. I wanted to put that out the way. Maybe he looks for a text message. Maybe it's a particular, maybe it's a particular email, right?
He had friends, people that he was close to that used to work at UMG, who I'm assuming he got this information from.
He's gonna have to prove that.
Yeah,
that's the whole reason why it's not a lawsuit. There's so much more to delve into. Right now, he essentially doesn't even really know who to sue. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get down to the bottom of the people, the logistics. Who are the third-party people involved into this scheme that occurred, that happened? Why was Kendrick Lamar's YouTube numbers so submersive and his weren't the same? He's gonna have to prove that. Mm-hmm. So granted, again, let's see if UMG and Spotify provide that information.
But I read an article by Rolling Stone. Shout out to Andre G. He's doing great work over there. But he spoke to entertainment lawyers and got their opinion about this petition that Drake is doing. And one of the lawyers was saying that, I don't know if UMG being forced to reveal their numbers and provide documentation of the artificial streaming, that might not be the best thing for Drake, because it could blow back on Drake, because Drake also benefited, most likely, allegedly benefited from this artificial inflation as well. So it's like, why are you poking it if you have benefited from the machine as well as what a lot of people and professionals are thinking?
And this is why I go back to what I said earlier about the whole cultural thing. It's like, when you hear the song, right? Drake, or anybody who's around Drake, when you hear the song, it is a good song. It has all of the elements to be a good song. It just happened to be a diss song calling you a pedophile. right? Like it just
Like, it was played at parties. It was
played
yeah.
like every
Sweet
time it's played at
16s.
parties is going up, not because it's just a diss at you. It is also a aesthetically pleasing, listenable song. It's a good song.
It's a hit. It's a hit.
Y'all
Yeah.
mentioned parties. How many parties y'all think Drake was around this summer that played Not Like Us? Which is another detriment to how coddled he might be.
Oh, you're saying like he doesn't realize that he's
Out of
mad
touch.
at the streams and them inflating the streams. But I was confused because I'm like, why are you going after the streams and so angry at the streams? Because the streaming success of Not Like Us is like probably the fourth reason of why Not Like Us is so powerful. It's not about the numbers. It's about the cultural impact it already made. So, and you can't undo that.
And
Like,
it's as fucked up as it sounds, the better Not Like Us does is the more we could pay you. If we are all underneath the same umbrella, Reggie, you so eloquently mentioned that he has been the benefactor of a lot of privileges that have come with streaming, with inflated sales potentially. If there's anyone who has benefited, it's been Lucian's golden child. You used to brag on these songs about having Lucian in your back pocket, how he would get a payout for you whenever. How could you not assume that that would also blow back in your face, right? Because when we open those files and we open everything else that you're looking for, it doesn't just stop with what they did with Kendrick Lamar. It goes into you too, bro. So how do you...
Unless
I'm listening.
Unless
I'm listening.
all of his numbers were actually not pushed.
You believe that?
You don't believe that, Peter?
I'm just putting that up
It's
there
a-
as an option.
I'm glad he
I see
said
what you're saying,
unless.
though.
He said unless.
I see
He
what
didn't
you're
say he
saying.
believed
No, I
it.
see what
to
you're
have
saying.
that to have that confidence,
But
knowing
no.
that I also
impossible.
benefited.
Because if you really
It's
listen
impossible.
to the song, Kiki, do you love me? That's a bad. It's not a good song.
Oh, you don't like that
It's-
song?
It's catchy. It's
You
catchy.
forgot-
It's a catchy
I
song.
love
You,
it.
you,
Bro,
you want
It's
to
a
know
catchy
the-
song.
Everybody was
Money,
on that.
Benny.
No, it's a catchy song. I think it is a catchy song.
Yeah.
And I think for the moment, and even God's plan, right? I think there's a lot of songs in Drake's catalog that define a moment, but didn't really translate beyond that moment because we, as a consumer, was programmed. Now, the one thing that I've learned about working in TV and film, there are literal departments called the programming department, right?
Yep.
And even when you watch TV, this is a program, a national televised program that you're watching. And because we use the word so casually, I don't think we really understand what that word is saying and what it means. We're being programmed.
Yeah.
Right? There are people
Music
who are in
program.
place who are making decisions
Yes.
that consciously want to subdue your unconscious thinking of programming.
Yes.
I believe a song like Kiki, do you love me? That
Are you
like
rap?
you feel whatever you feel because you lived through that moment.
Mhm.
But it's not a song, in my opinion, that's necessarily good. I think
What?
we were programmed to believe and feel and think in that moment. Like shout out to Shiggy.
And Odell.
Shiggy had a moment, and sure, Odell too. Shout out to anybody who made that song what it was for that time. And I highlight Shiggy because the reason why a Shiggy and a Drewski, right? They use the same platform. They use the same elements to be introduced to us to capture our hearts and our algorithms and all
Right.
of these things. I don't know Shiggy personally, but what I do know is the algorithm, and what I do know is the demand. There hasn't been a demand for a Shiggy in a very long time. We haven't seen him. He was the it guy. He was the it Instagram comedian
was
through the
all over.
dances and all of these things, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he has his moments where he's hilarious. He's hysterical. He's funny. But I think with that particular instance, with that song, every time you walk in a room and people play that song, they want you to dance because he's programmed. We're programmed to think that about him. So once that phase of the programmatic algorithm, whatever you want to call it, is no longer relevant or it has no influence, it's not able to sustain. Whereas a Drewski, he's funny. There's nothing programmatic about Drewski that says, oh my God, keep him. No, he just genuinely has something about him. He has an it factor that just keeps him on my algorithm and makes me want to be engaged with him. And I think that song and I think that comparison of the Instagram comedians, whatever you want to call it, influencers. I think a lot of it is programmatic, and I think Drake has had that influence. And like, you go back to Lucian. First off, I can't trust anybody named Lucian.
That's a fact. Sound like some
It is too close to Lucifer.
That's a fact.
It is way like, what the fuck? Nobody ever thought this.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thought this. You thought this?
No, it's funny because I've always I just said it with reincarnation, right? I've always, unfortunately, associated the music business with having a very dark side.
For sure.
So it's so fitting that the head of Universal Music Group,
Damn,
last name is Lucian.
The names do look similar.
First name Lucian. Look
crazy.
like, I don't know anybody who starts a name with L-U-C besides Lucille. Lucille, they were done in like the 80s, the 90s. Like, that's it. After like,
hey, Lucy.
Lucian, like, no.
Yeah.
So that being the first point, like, I don't trust nobody named Lucian.
Right. And it's alleged that UMG lowered their licensing rates
with Spotify.
And
Business.
Once again, it's business. And who's to say that they didn't do the same thing for you?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to open up a bevy of conversations that I don't know if he's really ready for. Granted, when you're taking on an entity like this, part of me
just about to say,
right, part of me is thinking to myself, you're either really, really, really smart, or you're really, really, really hurt about how things have transpired. And I'm praying to God it's the first one, because I do see how there could be some level of opportunity for the payola thing that's mentioned in the petition, how certain entities and radio stations are paid to play certain things and how that could hinder other artists. I get all of that old dandy, but my real beef is that you didn't do any of this before the battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not genuine. Reg, you got something to say?
So speaking to Alex being like, I don't know if you're just really smart. And then also what Pierre said before about like, why would he do this? Like the confidence he has to just do this. I was thinking like, why is Drake doing this? So I'm thinking like, he's probably right. Like he probably has a plan in place where he can win whatever. I know it's not a lawsuit yet, but like he could probably win this and prove that he's right and that they are inflating the numbers. That's cool. Like if he is successful at what he's trying to do, but if he wins this, I think like him doing this, no amount of money could justify like the reputation hit he's gonna take because he did this.
For sure.
So I think overall, like I just don't know what your end goal is. Like, yes, if you prove that Kendrick's numbers weren't inflated, cool. Like you were right, Drake, clap for you. But like now people are gonna think about you as the guy of like filing a lawsuit because you were upset that Not Like Us was doing well
while trying to like
when it's
I
a
think
really good song.
that damage is worse. I'm saying like,
when it's a really good song, like
and you don't try to mask as a hero though.
like taking down the music industry.
Yeah, because you would have done it before the battle if you genuinely felt this way. Now, granted, this has been something that has been in the works for a while. I don't want to sit here and come up and lie up here and say that, yo, this is overnight. No, him and his team have been working on this, so all of that is understood.
Yeah, the 100 gigs. That's why all the stuff was released on this.
Even on songs from 2015, right? Like there's songs where he's mentioning how the higher ups are trying to deal with him or take his career to another level. If you've been sitting on this since 2015 and it's 2024, and at the end of a battle that you thought you were going to win, you end up losing public perception on, and now this gets filed. Come on, bro. I'm looking at you like, what's going on here, man?
Let me ask. No, go ahead. I was going to ask you. So we've all seen Drake's success.
Right.
Do you think in 2015 he realized, oh shoot, I'm on the trajectory to outperform this contract?
Absolutely. I think
So
Drake
is he
is
wrong?
known.
you said 2015.
2014, 2015, whatever year Alex just said.
I think the moment in the year, again, I'm forgetting the song. You guys will tell me in the comments. There's a song from 2015. I can't remember the song where he's saying the higher ups have all came together to conspire against me. Some shit like that. That happened in 2015. So you've known of something.
Yeah.
And you also know how maybe your contract, your deal is structured very differently than your peers. So you've known this for a very long time. If you've known this for a very long time, and this is really about the fight against labels, this is really about the fight for artists and things of that nature and the things that we should be privy to in terms of information and things like that, then you would have been done this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been done this a long time ago. So,
the issue that I have with Drake is the same issue that I have with The Rock.
uh-oh.
Yo.
Wait, what?
No.
Yeah, because we trying to figure it out.
No.
By the way, your clip about Vin Diesel versus The Rock did so well for
Great
us.
clip.
Claps to you.
Great clip.
Thank you.
Great clip.
It blew up on TikTok and Instagram.
Facts.
My ball brothers unite. But the issue that I have with Drake is the issue that I have with people like Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. Uber talented people that have the support of the machine, but whenever it goes against their image, their likeness, their mission, they try to become a martyr. Or they try to appear to be a martyr, right? And let me not put this on Kevin Hart. I don't think that's happened to him just yet. The Rock, he's had some films that have struggled, but in particular when it comes to Drake, you're not a martyr. You just happen to lose a rap battle where culturally, and this is the first time you haven't been the favorite on the card, right? If this was a boxing match, you would be the underdog. And you aren't used to being the underdog, although your whole presentation has been being the underdog. Right? Like, if you listen to Headlines, one of my favorite songs by Drake, he talks about being the underdog. All of Drake's, like, Do Not Disturb. I love that song, too.
Great song.
An amazing song. When you listen to the lyrics, it's him putting himself in a position of being an underdog. Although he hasn't been an underdog for quite some time. He just hasn't been. But now that you're actually, right, now that the marketing around being an underdog doesn't work and you actually are the person who isn't the favorite in this battle, in this fight,
right?
You're uncomfortable with that, it seems. So you file the lawsuits. And then to go back to my point about being culturally relevant or not, it's like, okay, yes, if you want to accuse people of inflating your streams or inflating Not Like Us' streams and all of those things, cool. I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. To TBD, right? To be determined. But one thing you can't deny is something like a Genius. Genius.com, which we all know for lyrics and the accuracy of lyrics, put out a list that says, hey, these are the most popular lyrics that were searched in 2024. Number 1 was Not Like Us, the first verse. Number 2 was Like That from Future, Kendrick Lamar, and Metro Boomin. The second verse, not just the song, but in particular, the second verse of that song was the second most viewed or looked into lyrics of this year.
Which shows retention.
Number 3 is Euphoria, the second verse by Kendrick Lamar. Number 4 was the intro to Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar. Number 5 was Not Like Us, the first verse by Kendrick Lamar. Number 6, Euphoria, first verse by Kendrick Lamar. So I say all of this to say that, yeah, sure, maybe you could make a case that they may have inflated their biggest product, which everybody is doing. Right?
Everybody.
Every major company is inflating everything because they have the capital, the marketing budget to do so, especially when it applies to you. God's Plan is a really good song in the moment. Today, I'm not getting in my car and I'm not playing God's Plan. I'm sorry.
I'm with you.
It's the biggest. It's
Speak
one
for yourself. No, I'm kidding.
It's one of the biggest songs of his career. Culturally, I don't think it has the lasting power of a Not Like Us or even a Like That, right? Like, it just, to me, and maybe I'm in a fucking tunnel, but I don't know.
Those are two different things.
It's a great song.
Kendrick doesn't have a one dance though.
He doesn't. And he doesn't have a controller. And he doesn't have a controller.
I don't know if those were inflated because that cultural impact did happen.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, these are cultural, impactful songs. But Drake, you just got to understand, like, Not Like Us, it said more than just being a great song. No, this was a cultural phenomenon.
It was,
a cultural phenomenon that you need to pay attention to, because if you won this battle, these are tactics that you would have protected. 30 for 30. I'm sorry. Yeah, get it off, Reggie.
And going after the streams of Not Like Us, I don't think that win is going to be worth it.
It's not. It's not, because again, you would have to prove that this song wouldn't have done well without the placement of whatever was used, which is hard. Which is hard to do with what SaVon just eloquently broke down on the internet.
That's why he's asking for the information from UMG.
But see, that's what I'm thinking. You're looking for a smoking gun. You're literally looking for the text message. You're looking for the email. Like, this is very particular things you're looking for. You can't just grab it from data.
But even if you find the smoking gun, there's going to be somebody who can say, hey, wait, y'all remember that Drake song that was like everywhere? Let me go find a smoking gun for that. Like, you are the golden child. You're not you're like,
it's a great point.
If Big Sean or Wale came out with this.
Strays.
No, because they probably feel underappreciated and underrated.
Or Meek.
Right?
Imagine
if Meek Mill, if any of those guys came out and filed this lawsuit, I would be like, you know what? Let me really look into this.
Yeah.
Because these are amazing artists. They make amazing songs. They came out during the same time. There's no way that maybe they shouldn't be a little bit bigger than what it is they seem to be perceived as, right?
Yeah.
If one of them came out and said, hey guys, I'm going to take down the music industry because I've been unjust, right?
Right.
I may take it a little bit differently.
Right.
But because the person who has benefited the most from streaming is doing this, because he's been called a PDF, right? And I'm doing that for social media purposes only, a PDF, right? Like, because you've been called that, now you want to kind of make this fit. And it's not, it doesn't align, it doesn't track with who you are and what it is that you stand for. I'm sorry.
Like, if I'm
sorry. I love you, Drake. Pipe Down's my favorite song. Pipe Down's one of my favorite songs of all time.
We love that song.
I love it. I will listen to it till I die.
I love yelling that song.
Yell it with me.
Like, if I'm Meek, should he come out and say that Back to Back, which was nominated for a Grammy, was inflated? There's so many different ways and parallels that him and his team should be looking at this like. And I found the song, by the way, it's the 30-30 freestyle, 30 for 30 freestyle. That's the joint project with him and Future. Look, never thought I'd be talking from this perspective, but I'm not really sure what else you expected when the higher-ups have all come together as a collective with conspiracies to end my run and send me a message. 40, did you get the message? This is 2015.
Wait, so he's saying since then he's been mad at UMG?
Since
Is that
then,
what he's saying?
He's been noticing.
He's been noticing
Okay.
the tactics that a big label could use. SaVon, you about to play a song?
No, I was just
Okay.
going to ask y'all, how do y'all feel when y'all hear like this song?
Same way I did on the first day. Fuck, stream fucking up. Your stream, yeah, check it out. There you go. Damn, your shit booty. Your service booty. What the fuck? What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? I feel the same way.
It's a good song. It's a good song. There's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, I'm sorry, Drake. The lawsuit, you just disqualified yourself from being the greatest rapper of all time. And a lot of people already had you disqualified because of the ghostwriting allegations.
Yeah.
Somehow we look past that. Somehow we look past the blackface. Somehow we've looked past so many things that were really, really questionable about you because you were uber talented, because you check all of the boxes of being a great MC, right? But there's a lot of things that have been questionable. I come from the school of Styles P. I come from the school of Nas. That's just what I grew up on. Those guys, they mean a lot to me when it comes to the health of rap and hip hop. Right? You get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about album sales. I'm not talking about popularity. I'm not talking about award shows. I'm not talking about awards. I'm talking about the essence of what it is to be an MC, what it is to be a rapper's rapper. Those guys are the people that I look towards. And although they haven't said it verbatim or outright, like, oh, he's disqualified, I know personally, I know how somebody like a Styles P feels about a Drake.
Oh, like, no, they're the standard.
We're aware.
Right?
We're aware.
And you just took yourself out from, and that is okay because you are on the top, pop star of the 21st century.
He's still
and
him.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Like you're still him, but
legendary run.
It's cultural. Like you just removed yourself.
And as an artist, you really gotta choose your journey when it comes to signing with major labels and understanding the perks, the pros and cons that it comes with, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're an independent artist and you put out good music, Meek is actually going through it right now, right? Meek is no longer with Atlantic, right? So when he puts out music, we can see how different it looks.
Yeah.
Right? But again, if you're an artist or a new artist at that, you don't really know what it looks like without it until you're without it, right? And it just really comes back to this theme for me, where it's like, you gotta know the devil you dealing with. Prince back in 92. I think this is before this is after Purple Rain, actually. I think in 92, he signed a new deal with, I think it was Warner, I'll look it up in a second. And it was for upwards of about $100 million, right? At this time, bro, this is unheard of. Yeah. His contemporary's not even doing this, right? Like his contemporaries at the time, Michael Jackson, Madonna, they're at about 60 million, right? Prince just cleared for $100 million. So now it was a good moniker, right? It was a great title to uphold at that time to say, hey, you know what? I make more money from my record deal from than a Madonna or Michael Jackson, right? I think to an essence, that's kind of what he's done with Cole and Kendrick.
Yeah, it was Warner.
It was Warner, right?
Yep.
Thank you. He's essentially separated himself from the big three because his slice of the pie he believed to be so much better.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, you got to take off the veil and understand what that money come with. See, now when Prince took that 100 M's, he wasn't happy after that. See, Warner had given him that money in efforts that he would rekindle some of that Purple Rain energy, get back into that bag, right? Like that's what they were expecting, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's like, what is UMG expecting of you when you just took a loss to someone like that? You understand what I'm saying? So even for new artists, I tell them all the time, you have to understand what this shit come with, yo. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna sign with a label, it's gonna come with things that are gonna help.
They're not just giving you money. It's an exchange, yeah. It's
an exchange. Mm-hmm. The thing is, though, I think because of the amount of money he's accumulated through UMG and Lucien over the years, that he got blind to being a worker as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
like because he was
technically their employee.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the way he toured a lot. Like what album? What tour was that? I think it's the one that just happened. That was in Barclays.
The one with the big ass Virgil in the show, right? Oh my god,
big as the what?
Big as the what?
Because he did. I think back to back. He took a break and then he went back.
He's been touring for a while. Yeah. Just to give like some of the key points of the petition lawsuit. Drake is, like Reggie said, alleging artificial inflation of the streams, pay-to-play schemes, misleading advertising. The first petition was filed in New York. This petition accused UMG and Spotify of violating the racketeering, influence, and corruption organization, engaging in fraudulent schemes to inflate the song's success. The second petition was submitted in Texas.
It's the RICO.
Yes, that was
Civil
a RICO.
RICO. Yep.
Civil RICO.
Yep.
And UMG, they have denied all allegations, stating that they adhere to the highest ethical standards and that fans independently chose to choose the music that they wish to hear. Again, not like us. It was accusing Drake of certain things. I think it was just a diss song. I think Drake also accused Kendrick of a lot of horrible things, horrific things. I think he accused his wife of horrific things, his best friend
defamation?
Of horrific things. I think, when you engage in beef and when you say, drop a 50 man, send a moms and a side. I was really trying to keep it PG.
You know what I think about, bro?
When you really asking for somebody to drop, like you asked for this, you got it. Yeah. I'm sorry, you lost. Take your L. It is okay to I'm Black Karen, right?
Yo, right? You gotta stop saying that.
No, I don't give a fuck. If I come into the studio and the studio's not right, I'm hitting the group chat.
Now we know.
Y'all be, Reggie.
Yes, we do.
Reggie's not in that group chat.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yo, Reggie.
What can I do about it?
No, Reggie. I be letting it off. I be letting them know. Like, we got a neighbor. I'm acquainted with both of our neighbors at the studio.
Facts.
Alex don't know that.
Now I know you familiar with the one next door to us.
I went to the coffee shop. I went to the coffee shop today.
He cool.
Nah, today.
Oh, you went today?
Today.
Oh shit, I was at work.
I get it, Drake. I know what it's like, but I can't be a hypocrite in being a Karen.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you gotta just really be a Karen and stand on your bullshit. You can't say drop. And then when he drops, you upset and you hurt. I'm so sorry.
Filing petition.
Yeah, you clown Meek Mill. You clown all of these people through all of the years. First off, and let's go back, and then I want to get to J. Cole because we were kind of running out of time, right? You mentioned people's non-famous wives multiple times.
And wasn't he, you're talking about Drake, right?
I'm talking about Drake.
Wasn't he the first to open that door, right? In the battle? He mentioned Whitney first.
You know, I didn't know who Whitney was.
Until then?
When I heard the name Whitney, who do you think of?
Houston.
Yeah, I thought it was Whitney.
Right?
Awesome. Yeah.
And when I heard, hey, I'm going to make it ring like Virginia Williams, you know what I thought? I said, oh shit, Serena Williams got a sister. Who the fuck is Virginia Williams? I ain't never heard of
That's a fair assumption. Yeah,
You get like, you are the person that brings these people out of the darkness. You pull the darkness. Like, these are people who are in the shadows. These are people who have no ambition of being famous. They enjoy their anonymity, right? Like, you are the person who pulls them out. And now you put the spotlight on them. And then you think this is just a game. But the culture will always remind you, this is not just a game. This is our lives and this is our livelihood. And now you are reaping what you sowed. These are the ramifications of you barking up trees that you probably shouldn't do.
It all backfired.
When it comes to Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj, it seems like, I don't know the status or the depth of their relationship, but they were in a relationship. And Meek Mill, or you brought up Nicki Minaj in regards to Meek Mill as if she was just a prop in the battle, as if that wasn't his girlfriend, or who knows how deep their relationship was. Like, he constantly pokes at people's significant others. Yeah. Right? And Pusha T made a very valid point. Yo, you talk about people's wives because you never seen a successful marriage. You don't know what it's like to really have a relationship. There is no example that you have seen that says this means something to
Regi.
Yeah. So
I forgot he said, like, did he say that recently or during their beef?
During the beef.
During the beef.
I forgot that happened, but that is like kind of true. Like, that's why he plays with people's wives. But like, if you're the husband, like, you know not to do that because you know how much your wife means to you. You know, like,
you can't play with mine.
You can't.
And that's what Pusha T showed him. But again, Pusha T just didn't have the platform. In hip hop, he did. For anybody who loves hip hop, oh my God, like, that was a moment. That was a time.
That was crazy.
But the white man in Arizona or Idaho, Iowa, South Dakota, they know Drake. And they know Kendrick. They don't know Pusha T. And I hate the fact that they don't. Y'all should really
The fact that you admitted that is kind of crazy to me.
No, that's the thing. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. Like, I love Pusha T. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. But
it's a fact.
I can acknowledge that his reach isn't as far as a Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
Reach not like Victor Wembanyama, nothing, but you know. Reach not like Shaq, but you know.
His reach isn't as a Kendrick Lamar. Shout out to Push. I'm always going to praise Push on this podcast, right? We need cocaine raps.
We need that.
Everybody needs a little bit of cocaine raps.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
We needed a Kendrick Lamar to be able to expose some of these things, and I think that's what he did. Don't talk about my wife. This is what happens, and this is a very simple lesson for any man out there that doesn't have a wife or never seen an example of marriage. Do not talk about somebody's wife because you're gonna die. It's that simple. Yeah. Is that. Don't talk about my wife or my kids. You talking about my wife? You talking about my kids? I'm going to kill you. And now everybody is screaming, "You're a certified pedophile."
That really is crazy. That I'm really thinking about what he did. Like, for you to be unmarried and like for you to be talking about people's wives constantly is pretty crazy.
And and to think about it from what you just said, Reg, Cole is married. Cole knew enough to like, yo, like, this is gonna go left. So like, I'm just playing this back right now. Yeah.
And not for nothing, it's like, was he looking for a rap battle with integrity? To SaVon's point just now, you're bringing up people's wives. People are gonna feel offended. And I think a large argument for his side and, you know, the people that rock with him is, yo, you just called a multi-billion-dollar entity a PDF, right? Bro, when have rap battles ever had integrity? I'm just.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat
motherfucker.
Who needs integrity?
Because that's what they're saying now. They're saying
I love it. I like what they're saying. I love it.
They're saying like, yo, no, he crossed the line with the PDF thing, y'all. That's drag. Nobody wants to be known for PDF. Please, y'all, let me know when we have seen integrity in rap battle.
If that's the point too, then don't engage.
Don't engage, but I even said this during the battle. Don't start. Sure, lies are a part of rap battling.
You did say that.
I said that
in a previous episode.
I never once knew rap battles to be for facts. No, it's I'm trying to expose you and make it sound good.
It's about the conviction.
Exactly. The conviction. Does it sound good? Does it land? And if it does that, guess what? I'm okay. Because I heard in the petition as well that Drake didn't like the fact that he was the artwork for Not Like Us. It's a picture of Drake's house.
It's creativity. The same way you
Like,
use
dog.
Tupac's voice.
Picture of Drake's house.
It's
Like,
creativity.
dog.
Like, what are we talking
Like,
about?
dog, what are we talking about here?
With like a bunch of
With the
pedophile
sex
pins.
offender pins.
And mind you, you've
my
only
God.
showcased us your home any chance you get. Should I even think that he had a link in his bio one time where you could literally click on the link and see what his dining room looked like, see what his studio room looked like? These things are all up for public information, public fodder. So a lot of this is just confusing me. SaVon, hold on, just give me two more things that I wanted to highlight here. Also, in the petition, it's alleged that UMG had Siri purposely misdirect people to not like us.
Oh yeah, I heard of that.
So
Could be true.
yeah,
I did hear about that as it was happening, honestly.
yes. So let's see if you were looking for certified lover boy,
Like,
you would get certified pedophile.
that's called
I
marketing.
do remember people tweeting that. Like, why did my Siri just do this?
Yeah.
It's marketing.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that.
Yes. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm cool on that, man.
All right, cool. Well, we talked about 2 out of the 3. And I know J. Cole seemed to have disqualified himself from the big 3. But wherever you place him, he's still a part of it. Right?
So he didn't disqualify himself if he's still in it.
He disqualified himself out of being number 1.
He went on hiatus.
You know what?
He took a sabbatical.
Every time someone says that, I'm not mad at it.
Right?
He literally
did.
apologized with rap beef. It's fine. He could still, to all my fellow Cole fans, I don't think you should be really. That's not a battle that we have to continue fighting, because he could still be your personal favorite,
Mhm.
but overall number 1, objectively, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. What I do want to say before we end the call, because I've had a change of heart, right?
Oh,
I've had a change. I said it last week. I wore a Dreamville shirt. What the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
feeling-
Well, you got to
Yeah.
change your heart from that.
yeah, I started this podcast with saying the N is for nostalgia. And a part of that nostalgia is understanding and being appreciative of the era of hip hop that we are living through, that we have been able to grow up with. Seeing Kendrick Lamar announce a stadium tour in the States, seeing Drake announce a stadium tour overseas, and seeing J. Cole drop a link and saying, hey, Madison Square Garden, one night only, and seeing that sell out. Like, I do want to give all of these guys their props for the artists that they are, the longevity that they have. I mentioned Big Sean a little bit early in the podcast. He dropped an album this year.
Yeah, it dropped. It did.
Nah, Alex's music, man.
I'm gonna be honest. I came in here and said how much I wasn't really a fan of it. And I was asking Regi, I'm like, I'm gonna ask you in 2-3 months what songs you're still listening to. Reggie.
Get You Back with Cash Cobain.
Same.
and On Up.
Okay. Salute.
So again, I mentioned these 3 gentlemen, and not to down anybody else, but just to understand the relevance that they had. Like, my sister, she's a really big fan of J. Cole.
Yeah.
She's
What a queen.
21 right now. She was on the virtual line of trying to get his tickets to MSG. And I was there when the site crashed and when there was over 100,000 people in the queue trying to purchase these.
150,000.
It was
And that is true. My sister texted me and I was on the queue as well.
Mhm.
I don't know if I want to reveal my story because it's pretty embarrassing, but I was literally like, oh my God, I have only 2,000 people ahead of me. And my sister texted me her screenshot. She was like, you're going to laugh at me because I'm 156,000th in line. And she texted me the screenshot. So this is very real. It's not like marketing by Dreamville. Like, people were waiting and the pre-sale sold out in like 10 minutes.
I just like how Kendrick stepped all over that nigga rollout. Kendrick stepped all over Cole's rollout. Are we paying attention to
This is about Cole.
This is about Cole.
Like,
This is about Cole.
Relax.
This is wait. We would be remiss if we don't combine the both. J. Cole and Eve have come out and said that they're basically starting J. Cole's rollout, right, Reggie?
For the fall off.
For the fall off, right? He kind of referenced in an interview before with Lil Yachty that this is how he would do it, right? He would put out old episodes. So all of us know that an album is coming. Yo, he rushed Cole so much that Cole had to rush out all 3 mixtapes.
It wasn't rushed out. It was timed with the inevitable.
Was it?
Yes.
You was watching it. Yeah, you let me know. Yeah,
I'm with Reggie.
I'm with Reggie.
I don't think it was
I'm with
rushed.
Reggie. I'm with Reggie.
It was an inevitable, the audio series that he refuses to call a podcast.
Yeah.
But it was scheduled. It was scheduled very like fairly. Like,
Yeah.
it was a very fair schedule of their rollout, and each episode was paired with the coinciding project. So it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm rushing to release this in a week because Kendrick is coming. It was very planned.
Okay.
And like, I understand where you're like, oh my God, Kendrick stepped on his rollout, which he announced a tour, a project.
Bro.
But I always say I might be biased because my timeline is very J. Cole, but I feel like the conversations are happening simultaneously. People are like, yo, we love this Cole rollout. We love this Kendrick rollout. I don't think he's stepping on it. I feel like people are still very impressed with the Cole rollout.
I see what you're saying. I think he's stepping on it for the other people who are not Dreamville Hive.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's who he's stepping on it for. Like, if Kendrick didn't put out his album, I think a lot of the effort and attention would have been towards J. Cole right now, if not all of it, and not just the Dreamville fans.
For anybody who isn't in the tri-state area or may not know, J. Cole announced a revisit show at Madison Square Garden of the 2014 Forest Hill Drives project. Correct?
And it has an element of the $1 in a Dream tour because the day of, they reserved 2014 tickets that you could buy for $1. In 2024, that's pretty cool. That's
cool.
to honor like
the
cool. Shit that he used to do. And I don't want to admit this right now, but I did not get a ticket. And I feel so weird because I've never not seen J. Cole when he came to New York.
Damn.
So I'm going to find a way. This is my Hail Mary for anyone who's listening. I don't know how, but I want to wind up in the show.
You're going to be there.
And I just want to like plead my case because I'm literally in the Forest Hills Drive documentary of me. There's a video of me waiting in line for the $1 show. Like, I deserve to be there, damn it. So if anyone got an extra ticket, I'll pay you.
I got tickets.
What? Why you ain't say nothing?
Wow.
I just told you.
We'll talk.
Wait, what?
Later. We'll talk later.
I'm like,
you just caught? We was recording.
What's your price?
We'll talk later. No, do you have
See what you
extra
did there?
tickets?
I see what you did there.
I don't want to take your ticket. Do you have an extra ticket?
Yo, what's your yo?
Okay, well, also, I just did my spiel, but also, I'm not about to pay an arm and a leg for the ticket. Like, it's fine. If someone's charging me like $700, I'm like, I'm good.
No,
it's not that serious. I already saw him 14 times. It's fine.
I was in the queue. Me and my sister, we were in the queue. We didn't get the tickets. I'm lying.
Oh shit.
We didn't get, but I did see the ticket prices.
Yo.
The prices were very affordable. So I do want to shout out J. Cole because like front row seats for like $168.
Bro,
Right?
I know
Like,
my friend.
He like J. Cole does this thing where he can relate to the common folk. He does this thing where his brand is being regular. And it's really dope to see. And so when we got inside the queue for the purchasing of his tickets, I was curious to see what his pricing would be because Ticketmaster in itself is a scam, right? There's a few scams in this world. Insurance, Easy Pass, Ticketmaster,
Easy Pass first.
Oh my God.
and the IRS.
Okay, IRS.
Nah, Easy Pass got
These
me
are
first.
all different scams
Easy
that we
Pass,
just
my guy,
allow.
IRS.
We openly voluntarily, I don't even know if it's voluntarily,
Nah,
but we have no choice but
choice.
to abide by these scams.
Financial abuse.
And
I miss them little pay booths, man.
I miss
Ticketmaster.
the people at the tolls.
Me too. You used to pay them that money and get through.
Bro,
Don't think about nothing.
The toll bill comes 2
All right,
days
Pierre,
before.
calm down. You're getting
before
excited.
the violation hits. You want me like? What are you doing? Like,
You good, P?
damn, son.
Ticketmaster is one of the few scams that we accept.
Yeah.
Correct? In my opinion, at least. And so I was surprised to get in the queue. And I was curious to see, like, if J. Cole is really the man that he says he is, he's not going to charge us $900 for floor seats. And to my surprise, he did not. The tickets were very affordable. And he just stood on brand. And I think this is a great way to counteract some of the negativity that he received. I don't know if he cares about it. Again, I compared J. Cole to Andre 3000 a little bit earlier in this podcast because I don't think he and Andre truly care about the public perception. I think they are truly like servants in a way of, I am a servant of hip hop, of music, of message. And selling your tickets for $1, selling your tickets for under $200 for the reasonable seats, in my opinion, in this
MSG.
economy at Madison Square Garden says so much about who he is. At the end of the day, any business, any corporation, everything always starts at the top.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking at a price and you're like, what the fuck? Why is it like, just think about who was at the top of that because nothing happens without that person okaying it. Right? So if tickets for J. Cole his concert was, let's say, $3,000. He can't act oblivious to it. Like, I don't know if y'all remember a few years ago, a lot of people were really upset with Bad Bunny.
Bye, Bunny, bye.
No, for real. Y'all may y'all remember this?
No, I remember that.
Maybe like a year, 2 years ago, Bad Bunny, he went on tour and he was touring like Drake.
Stadiums.
Like every year, Bad Bunny was just on tour. He was everywhere at all the time. Yeah. He went to the Bronx. You remember he was in the Bronx.
I do remember that.
You remember that? You was in the Bronx?
Uptown went up.
You was uptown, right? Like I remember, like every year, Bad Bunny, he was just touring. And then one of his later albums, like the tickets were like outrageous. They were so crazy that a lot of people didn't buy his tickets, right? Like they were like, yo, wait, bro, you're charging me $900 for one ticket? And I'm like in the back, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, I get it. It's very expensive, the inflation, all of those things. But when I see that, I can't help but say, oh, he was aware that his tickets were like this. Yeah. He was just trying to like gauge how much he can get from y'all. You get what I'm saying? Like, J. Cole is very conscious of how much his tickets are. And I do want to salute him for that because that is a part of his brand.
I will say to something you said, like, you were saying, like, oh, I don't know if J. Cole truly cares about, like, all the backlash he got after the beef. I don't know. We don't know. Like, we're not in his brain. But I think, in my opinion, that his post-rap beef conversation redirect is going pretty well, in my opinion.
He's killing it.
I am very like cautious because I just know I'm biased, and I'm literally in like J. Cole forums. So like, yes, I'm biased. I only see the good things of everyone. All of us have been freaking out about revisiting J. Cole
on Reddit
bars.
Are you on Reddit?
Not on Reddit, but on like in like Twitter groups and Twitter DM mass group chat. Like I'm in there. And so we've been loving the plan, the rollout, and I'm very excited for. So my point was like, I feel like his redirect and like just his plan is going pretty well in my opinion. But I think that what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
What were we talking about? J. Cole.
You said
I'm very excited for the fall off because I don't know. I just feel like obviously that if according to plan, like that would be the last album. I'm not mad at it. Like I'm not mad at him. Literally my favorite rapper of all time releasing his final album and doing it in this way. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm not mad at it. I'm very like happy that he's older now and that he's happy with this. And then people could still come out of retirement. Like I want him to retire gracefully, and then maybe in like 10 years or something, people come out of retirement all the time, do a feature. Like I want my GOAT to go out that way. I don't want him to go out sad. Like you know, I want him to do a cool, like just beautiful emotional show at MSG. No, he didn't.
No, he went outside.
No, you back on his team.
Why are you online trying to get tickets to his MSG show if he went outside?
And you were wearing the Dreamville
I think
shirt.
He's great.
What?
And I'll continue to wear
just
his
a
merch.
walking contradiction.
I think it's dope. No, I can still think like, what the fuck can two things be true? He still went outside because he can never be considered the biggest or the greatest out of the big three. Like you went outside the way that you went out, but I respect it, right? Like. It's okay.
Oh, you just respect him for going outside.
The Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, right?
Like,
Jake Paul could have knocked Mike Tyson's head off from what we saw.
Nah,
I don't know.
He could. I think it's the other way around.
I think Mike could have knocked him out too.
Easily. Did you not see the first punch?
He could have. But if somebody is fighting me and they bow in front of me, that means I probably could have got you. I could have had you.
He had the stamina on him.
Could have had you. Like that's just what it is. Like I think two things can be true where you can't go outside. And you can also be respected. I think J. Cole just put himself in a realm where he's always going to be respected. But when it was time to battle, or like, you can't be the greatest and not be battle tested. We haven't seen him in a actual one-on head-up battle with any artist, with any rapper. And so for that reason, because Drake really was the only one out of the big three up until this point that had like a head-on beef. Pause. Before that, Drake was the only one. Kendrick never really beefed with anybody. He may have thrown slick shots, but all of his slick shots that we were able to catch happened to be at Drake. And now we finally got this crescendo of their battle where now they met in the middle, and we see where Kendrick landed. But prior to that, out of the big three, the only person who really had conflict or confrontation or any type of beef was Drake that we saw on a large scale. Now, anybody who was invested in hip hop or insiders, maybe they knew of the J. Cole and Kanye issues, or the J. Cole and the Wale issues, or whoever Kendrick may have had issues with. But on this scale, Drake was the only one who did it. And I think that, along with his talent, his ability to be a chameleon, was a reason why, and even his rap ability was why he was just placed at number one. But now that we see, oh shit, Kendrick is able to do the same thing that we saw Drake do, it changes things. J. Cole has not been able, or we haven't seen him go at anybody. And I think this is a competitive genre, a competitive sport. He can never just be number one because of that, not just because he apologized.
I don't think that, I mean, I get why a lot of people probably think like that. But I think just because he's not undisputably number one, I don't think that's him going out sad. I think him like really being happy with himself and the career and the run he's had and the impact he's had when he dropped his mixtapes that we could have all listened to around, like at this time, like however he wanted to. When he dropped it on DSPs, everyone reposting it, everyone talking about how much they love it and all that, and just having a really fulfilling career. This show at MSG is going to be legendary. I know, like you're going to look around and see a packed stadium like that. I feel like is not going out sad. I feel like I feel like he had an incredible career and he knows that, and I feel like he's happy with it.
How about you?
Yeah, he's killing the PR thing right now. I can't even lie to you. You would be surprised that he bowed down just a few months ago. Real talk. The perception, the conversation is changing. Maybe nostalgia is the reason why. Regardless, I don't think they really even care anymore. Real talk.
I just feel like some people,
especially
are
with the
just
lawsuit stuff too, the petition stuff. Yeah,
I feel like some people are just not all or nothing people. Like just because he was like not able to take the number one crown, I don't think he's like unhappy with his career. I feel like for some people, that's fine. He's like, yo, look at this beautiful ass career I've had. I feel like he is one of those people.
For sure.
If Drake, if he was like, let's say like 45 years old and people are still telling him he's not number one, I feel like that he will not be happy with his career. I think he's that type of person, but J. Cole's not, and he's going to be fine.
I agree. I can't wait to see how 2025 plays out. We got new music on the way, all of these albums. Real quick, there were a few things that we missed last week. I do want to get into like the quick hits really quick. As we kind of wrap up this episode, Alex, you know, I will never miss a shot to talk about a Capricorn King.
Which one?
LL Cool J.
You mean the GOAT?
The GOAT.
I like that LL is speaking out. Did you see the clip? I'm going to send you the clip right now. Long story short, y'all, if you guys haven't heard, LL Cool J has proclaimed himself to be the most important rapper of all time. I think he said he hopes one day it comes down to that. I'm going to play the clip for you guys. Oh, I need a little thingy thing.
The dongle.
The dongle. Thank you, brother. That was a terrible throw, by the way.
It got to you.
It did.
Also, Alex has a nice little thing going on with, I don't know what to call it. Like appreciation for LL Cool J. No, you guys have like
that's my guy.
Not a relationship, but
that's my aunt.
You know him a little. Like
what's the word I'm looking for?
I can't go outside and say, yo, LL know me.
like an association.
Yeah, association. I saw you shake his hand.
That's my dog.
I know. I saw you shake LL's hand.
LL, and let me tell you something.
You was cheeked up and all that.
No, I wasn't. But my hand did hurt.
You were smiling.
But my hand did hurt.
You were smiling. You were smiling.
Listen to what LL is saying. And I don't think he's too far off. We won't stay on this for too long.
You know, I'm going to say this with humbly, but I really mean this. I think one day people are going to wake up and realize that LL Cool J is the most important rapper that ever existed. I truly believe one day people are going to say that. They're going to say, yo, they're going to look and they're going to say, wow, when it comes to the jewelry, this is the guy who introduced all the diamond and the ice and the champagne. They're going to say when it comes to the love songs, this is the guy who introduces the love songs and all the love shit. When it comes to the bad boy vibe, they're going to realize, oh, this is the guy who introduced all the rebellious bad boy vibes before it was done. When it comes to the GOAT terminology, they're going to say, yo, this is the guy who came up with the GOAT stuff. They're going to say when it comes to Def Jam, wow, this is the first artist that was on Def Jam.
Debunk it.
I'm not. He was born January 14th. Now,
I blindly agree.
No, I just know a lot of great people. Good. No, for real. Yo, if you really think about it, Alex is right. Reggie. Think about all the people that you know
Oh, man.
that was born January 14th. Like, they just happen to be fucking great.
Right in
dude.
front
Like,
of me, amazing.
What the fuck? Anything that LL Cool J says,
Yes.
I'm always going to agree with. Like
And
you
this
said,
is-
he has
yeah.
a very prominent handshake. Anybody who has one of those,
He has great skin.
you don't. Does he really?
I feel like he's always glowing.
Why you looking at other
Babyface.
niggas' skin? For real.
Because you can.
I can say that LL Cool J has great skin.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I thought about like the BBL allegations. I got tight real quick. I got tight.
Still thinking
You
of that.
don't be talking about BBLs and
You don't be
LL Cool
doing
J
that.
in the
Don't be doing
same
that.
episode.
Hey,
bro.
I was trying to like soft launch me doing it, but
That's crazy.
Nah, but that clip
but
was
now
really
I
for the
won't
haters.
because now I know you guys will shun me.
No. But that clip was really for the haters. For those of you that don't know, maybe the younger cats, think of that nature, please go do your research. When we talk about rap superstar that transitioned what hip hop looked like on a commercial level in terms of commercial success, acting, just different types of opportunity within hip hop and rap, LL Cool J really might go down as the important.
And also
most
like
important.
how you carry yourself.
For sure. Like just the things that you made normal that are normal now within hip hop and rap.
Sure.
LL Cool J stamped for sure.
For sure.
Don't play yourself.
Reggie thought that I would. I don't know if the word offended would be the right word.
What's up?
You thought that I would feel a way about Jack Harlow
Oh yes.
singing Elvis Presley. Now,
Mhm.
this is something that
Sound
happened
about
while we
right.
weren't here. Why does that sound right? I support white men.
You from Kentucky, right?
I support white niggas.
Yeah, Jack from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I support. I got family in Kentucky, low key.
Where?
I do.
Salute to them.
Oh, that's
Legit.
cute.
Salute
So
to your
like
fam out there.
Reggie, when she came in, she said, "Hey man, I've been in Brazil. All right." No, like legit. She came to me with this tone. I was like, I was so like confused. Like, Reggie, I never heard you talk like this. Like, is this a Brazilian accent? She said, "Hey man, I've been in Brazil and
That is not a Brazilian accent.
there was something on my mind. Jack Harlow." I said, "Reggie, I know you're not gonna pull $100,000 out. Like,
So I'm not gonna pull $100,000
I know
out.
you're not, because you don't want nobody to have a heart attack. But why are you bringing up Jack Harlow to me?"
Did you hear
And
his
she
last
said,
single?
"You know why? I thought you was really gonna be on the side of fuck Tommy Richmond."
We have to give them context
That's-
because
no.
this is like a low-key an insider between us. So they're probably like, what the fuck are you guys
What the
talking
fuck
about?
are they talking about? These fucking losers.
So we had a very I enjoy the debate in the group chat of like Tommy Richmond and is he like trying to just use hip hop as a vehicle but then abandon it once he gets, you know, status. And SaVon was saying like, yeah, I hate when people do this. They just use hip hop and then throw it away. And then that was a very prominent conversation when people saw Jack Harlow's most recent performance. He was looking snazzy in a tux and singing Elvis Presley. So that went viral, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, his hip-hopification is starting. They always do this. Jack Harlow is white, and he claimed he wants to be a rapper, but now he's like straying and removing himself." So I thought SaVon would agree with those critiques because he has said that about Tommy Richmond. But then, to my surprise, my friend said, "No."
Yeah. I think white men should sing white nigga songs.
I think it makes sense.
What?
Oh, I didn't know that's why you agreed.
What?
I think
it
it
makes
is
sense.
appropriate for Jack Harlow to sing Elvis Presley songs.
I think he right on brand. He looked the part.
He felt the part.
So
Gotta keep
you
going.
do think he's de-hip-hopifying himself?
No, I think he's doing what he's supposed to do, which is celebrate, highlight your culture. Elvis Presley.
You know what? I'm not mad at that.
I ain't mad at it. I can't be mad at that.
Sounds on brand.
It sounds on brand.
Now, if you ask me, I do think he's going to be
Separating.
separating from hip hop soon. That for me, that single I just played to you is a.
He already did a soft launch of "Hey, fuck you niggas."
What was
The
that?
I don't, what's that song?
Whips
Love it on me.
Whips and chains.
No.
Nah, that
Oh,
shit
well,
kind of still
that's
feel a
not.
little hip hop. Yeah.
He
me.
remixed and sampled Fergie. My favorite Fergie sample ever.
So how is that a fuck you?
Yeah, Fergie was with the blacks.
Yeah.
She's white.
He was also had a crush on her, I believe.
Okay.
Right?
I know, but I'm telling you,
Fair.
he did a soft launch of "I'm gonna show y'all niggas."
I don't
He
know.
did the
That's
soft
something for
launch
y'all.
already.
I
That's
think
He filmed the music video at the Kentucky Derby. Now that we see Drake, what he
Churchill.
really stands for.
Churchill Downs.
Now that we really see what Drake aligns himself with.
Yeah.
the Kentucky Derby is kind of crazy to shoot a video at.
But the song is literally named Churchill Downs.
Yeah.
But still,
Kinda had to be there.
that's you can't like bleep this.
Okay. Okay.
Yo.
I ain't heard that word in that long.
No, we said that in a previous episode.
Oh,
And I was like, is that a slur?
I can't say it.
Oh,
But
I've never heard it before.
You
so-
never heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it.
I'm not
I'm
gonna say it again
uncultured.
I've heard
because
it.
I want this episode to come out tonight. Let's keep it in quick hits, really, really, really quick. I do want to revisit some lists. Okay. A few weeks ago, we talked about the greatest pop stars. This is Billboard's list of the greatest pop stars of the 21st century. At the time that we recorded the episode, we did not know who number 2 and number 1 was. We had only gotten up to number 3.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but number 3 was Rihanna. Y'all remember that?
I do.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I didn't remember that. And I'm honestly surprised.
We spoke about it.
She
too.
hasn't put out a lot of music in a while. So for her to be number 3, I think that just speaks to her influence. But let's get to number 1 and number 2 of the 21st century's biggest pop stars, according to Billboard.
Yeah.
Number 2. Take a guess.
Can I just say the answer? Because I know the answer.
Fuck, why do you know the answer?
Because I literally
Google.
reported on this.
Oh, this is your job. I forgot.
Billboard is
Sorry.
literally PMC. I like work with them.
You got it. Go for it.
You got it.
Oh, wait, no. Should Alex guess?
No,
then?
no. I already
Do
know.
you know? You
Yeah,
know?
of course.
Why do y'all know
Oh,
these things?
course
Because
I
it
know.
was news, SaVon.
Bro, what do you mean?
Fuck, bro.
It's music.
Number 2. Did you think she was going to be number 2?
Yeah, remember
Yes.
last time we recorded, I said it too. I was like, yo, I think the longevity of Beyonce and what she's done before Taylor would put her at the 1 slot.
So who's number 2?
Taylor Swift is number 2.
Okay.
A lot of people did not like the
Yeah, the Swifties got activated.
Did they really? They were
turned
active?
on.
Yes. I literally saw it on my timeline.
They turned on.
They were
I didn't see
angry.
that. I didn't see that. Okay.
And then Beyonce was number 1. Yay.
Beyonce was the number 1 pop star for the 21st century. According to Billboard, I am not mad at that. I think she deserves it. I don't think there's anybody who really rivals her in that space. Now, my only debate would be, this is my bias. I'm not going to say it, actually.
Nah, say your shit.
Nah,
It's a
'cause
safe space.
You
for
can't
real,
go
fam.
against, like, it's not even going against.
Yeah,
I'm
don't-
not going to debunk a black woman.
Yeah, don't go against black women.
Black women go first.
That's a
for
fact.
sure.
Don't.
I don't know. Last week you were kind of obsessed with saying that she doesn't write her own songs, but
No, she don't. No, she don't.
Yo,
That-
I be forgetting
I
shit,
remember
yo.
that.
pop
now.
stars don't write their own music.
Now,
why does
So why
Taylor
when I said
hold
it-
on, hold on. Does Taylor Swift write her own songs?
That's why she's number 2.
So why can Taylor Swift write her own songs but Beyonce can't? Because they're so big.
But, yo, you're not gonna trip me up, bro. I will defend this
stalling.
point. No, I'm not.
Yo,
Continue.
fall.
Okay, we don't have to revisit. Actually,
We
it
don't
was last
go
week.
to last week, 2 weeks ago episode. I stand on what I stand on, but I am happy to announce and
Beyonce.
to witness and to see that Beyonce was number 1 because we know how this country is. They will shapeshift depending on who's hot right now.
Mhm.
Taylor Swift is really hot right now, but the longevity of this century, I
Yeah.
think Beyonce got it.
I will say this though.
They did honor her.
The term pop and popular music will forever confuse me. That is a fact. That's really all I got on it.
What
Solely
do you mean?
because, like, when you think about who's a pop star in today's age, it's Taylor Swift. But when you think about just popular music in general and who is more popular, I understand why you would lean towards a Beyonce. You know, like pop for the most part it's not R&B, it's not hip hop, but you can still have artists that make those types of music and put them there because of their popularity.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
This is, oh my gosh. I know we always say like, oh, we won't get into it, but we genuinely won't get into it because this literally will require like an hour of explanation. But the reason why it's confusing to you is like, we were taught to say that pop music means popular music. Like that's where the
Right.
word comes from.
Right.
And then, but now we equate pop with like a certain sound, like
a demo.
like
Yes.
very like that type of music.
Yeah.
But that's inherently racist because people
Niggas be racist.
no, people like this is like a thing.
Nah, I'm listening. I'm all
sorry.
ears. I'm all
Okay, I
ears.
want to explain myself. Then.
No, go twin. Fuck him.
No, because like, okay, I won't. Let's end it.
No, say it.
People, he doesn't want me to explain it.
No,
No, go
I
ahead.
do. He's
Go ahead.
lying. I want it. Please.
No, because people they manufactured the pop what was actually popular at the time,
Right.
and they forced people to believe that actually this music made by white people
Is
is
more
popular.
popular.
So that's why we think of pop music.
Right.
We think of that music. But actually, what was popular was like jazz, was like hip hop, like those things. But they crushed it down, and then said, "No, this is actually what's popular," and they call it pop music.
Reggie, thank you for explaining
Wow.
that.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, that's a
It
fact.
makes sense too.
It makes
But it
mad
makes a lot
sense.
more sense with more explanation. That was a
Absolutely.
bad explanation.
No,
but
no,
yeah.
it was good.
No, it was
Well, let me-
It's
let's-
just we conflate the two
Yeah,
concepts.
let me not say it makes sense. I understand how it's designed that way.
For sure.
Yeah,
Me too.
absolutely.
There's another list that I did want to highlight really, really quick. And I think next year we'll probably get into this list a little bit more. But of 2024, the artist with the most monthly listeners on Spotify currently.
You never
As
guess
of
who's number
today,
one.
You know who's number one?
I do.
Why do you know everything? Bro? What the
Music
fuck?
news, bro. You gotta let me get my shit off. I know what's going
It's
on.
getting me tight because, like, it's my guy.
Yo, he be trying to like, I'm gonna kill him with this stat. And
kill him
he
with this
knows
one.
it.
It's all here.
Who's
Wait.
number one?
Tory Lanez.
The guy that we have spoken so much, Pierre,
Not
please.
Tory Lanez.
The guy that we've had so many conversations about today, Drake.
No.
Oh
No,
shit!
isn't
Now,
it Kendrick?
No.
I saw
Billie
some.
Eilish.
Oh, then
This
my
is-
my list was wrong.
According to Chart Data, at Chart Data on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
the artist with the most monthly Spotify listeners.
Oh, listeners. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Today.
Wrong list. I
Wrong
had
list?
streams.
Okay, all right, we'll get
most
into
Spotify
streams maybe another day.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
sorry.
thought this list was really interesting because they did like top 150 or something crazy. Like I was like, oh my God, I forgot all of these artists. But the number one artist, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to guess. And if you guess this right, I will personally cash app you $100.
Is there a hint?
No.
No hint.
Wait, we're guessing what? The top?
Who is the
Who-
number
the
one?
most listened
You know
to?
what? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. It is a male. And obviously, y'all know it's not
Wow.
Drake. I think that's a big hint, you know,
The
given that
Weeknd.
The Weeknd is not number one. But
Playboy
that
Cardi?
is really close.
Ew. You play with
What?
Playboy
I'm gonna
Cardi?
give you another guess.
Oh,
You
my
ain't just say that dumbass nigga in my.
See, you be doing that. yo.
I'm
He
saying
has
number
a
one
lot
all
of
time.
He has all time. Okay.
like of the year. All
See,
every
which one
artist.
is it?
Of
Which
the
one
artist,
saying?
no,
I think I know.
No,
I think I know.
No, he just Googled it.
But listen,
I did,
no,
I did.
Pierre, relax. No, Pierre,
I didn't
relax.
Google it.
You relax.
I got-
real quick.
yeah.
Let me get into Alex. I just
Which one
said
is it?
the most monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
You said Playboy Cardi.
Why are you saying Playboy Cardi runs the streaming era? What do you mean?
But we
that's
talking
that's a pretty
The world.
a safe assumption.
The world.
No, but you know what's funny to me? He's like, Alex is like, which one of all time of last year? I'm like, Playboy Cardi is neither.
Neither.
No,
what
like
are we
what?
talking about? Now I'm gonna give you another guess because I love you.
Wait, what about me?
You are really
it's
fucking
easy
close.
to laugh on Playboy Cardi, y'all, but that is a streaming artist, y'all.
You know
I
what?
didn't-
I know it's easy to laugh on Playboy Cardi because we don't be in here
No.
bumping Cardi like I know.
Post
But he
Malone.
streams really well.
Nah.
Once you know what? Once we like really go through the list, I'll look to see where Playboy
Sure.
Cardi was, and then we'll go from there. But
I didn't Google this. I know the answer.
I'm gonna give you, Pierre. You please 1 second.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 1 second, one more chance, Alex, to get this right
Why does he get two?
because he said some bullshit.
Shabuzi.
You
bullshit.
said some real shit.
That's
Like
not
you was
bullshit.
mad. Like nah, she said some real shit.
An
You
educated
said some
guess.
bullshit.
I was gonna say The Weeknd though, but you'll see. Y'all,
He's
Playboy
not-
Cardi streams.
all right.
well.
That's all right. That's
no,
his
no,
guess.
no, no.
Fuck it.
It's
I'll
not
go
black.
Bad Bunny.
It's not black.
No, not Bad Bunny.
Oh.
But
Shabuzi.
that's better than
No, it's
that
not
bullshit
better,
you
bro.
just said.
Yo, you
Post Malone.
Can I say it?
we can't keep doing
Go-
that.
go
to
for
artists,
it. Ed
yo.
Sheeran.
We be ODing.
No, not Ed Sheeran.
Oh, damn.
He didn't have
Unfortunately,
an active year.
unfortunately, no. So,
Dang, Karen.
Wait, who was it?
y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready for the real? The artist with the most monthly listeners on Spotify currently, as of today, is Bruno Mars.
What?
Is Bruno Mars
Yo.
Somehow that makes sense.
with
Yeah.
No, he had a huge song with. Well, he's just huge as an artist in general, but he had a
Yeah.
huge song with Lady Gaga, and I should have known that.
136 million
Wow.
monthly Spotify
Jesus.
listeners.
Wow.
Number 2 is The Weeknd
That makes sense.
with 118
So do I get
million.
$50?
That's why I said you were really fucking close, which is why I had to minimize your answer.
Yeah.
Like, yo, ready, shut the fuck up, please. Because you was like really fucking close. But The Weeknd was number 2. I'm really surprised at this, but honestly, what you just said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga was number 3 with 110 million.
makes sense.
Number 4 was Billie Eilish, and
Makes
number
sense.
5 was Ariana Grande. So
What?
Makes
Really?
this is monthly listeners. Now,
Wow.
monthly listeners take into account for your back catalog.
Right.
A lot of these artists, although they may not have been active this year, they are just prominent in just music in general. So that's why when you said Playboy Cardi, I'm like, nigga,
Yo, I'm telling y'all,
Nah, Playboy Cardi, yeah.
is still one of the last ones that could sell over a certain amount when it comes to album. I'm telling y'all, I know it sounds crazy. They gonna tell y'all in the comments.
You know what's crazy?
I'm telling y'all.
I'm sorry to say, I know you're about to say something, but what's crazy to me?
Yeah.
Another artist like that for me, who like literally I don't understand. Like he's not horrible, but he literally sells out arenas.
We just don't get it.
Rod Wave.
I'm telling you.
Bro, like
I'm telling you.
No, it's not the online.
Yeah.
He sells out arenas back to back to back. And I just he doesn't make bad music, but I'm like, what?
It's not for you. It's just not for you.
No, but I didn't know.
It's the
You're
sound.
happy.
It's the sound.
You're in love.
It's real fans.
It is. It's crazy. This top 10 is kind of like it mind fucks me a little bit. So let me just give you the top 10, and then I just want to throw out some random names, and then we'll kind of get there because I am gonna have a prideful moment towards the end of this. But the top 10: Bruno Mars, number 1, The Weeknd, Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande. Number 6 is Taylor Swift. Number 7 is Coldplay. Number 8 is Justin Bieber. 9, Rihanna, and 10 is Ed Sheeran. That is the top 10 monthly listeners on Spotify. Now, all really big pop stars, but we didn't hear a Drake. We didn't hear
a Kendrick.
We didn't hear a Bad Bunny. There's a lot of names in here that we haven't heard, but I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking fascinating.
But how seriously do we take, and maybe I'll ask you because you actually use Spotify, Reggie. How seriously do we take monthly listeners? If anything, I'm a type of individual where I could use a DSP or a service and not have to subscribe to your monthly thing, but still stream you.
I don't think it's not by subscribers. It's like if I listen to someone, it counts. I count as a listener for the month. It's not like you subscribe to all these artists.
You know how you hit follow on Spotify?
No, it's not follow. I don't follow anyone.
And it always fluctuates.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So yeah, let's
That's
just
interesting.
throw out some random names.
It's very interesting.
We got Eminem is 12, which I thought is kind of interesting. 13 is Drake. So on this list, Drake is number 13.
I wonder what the peak of his height was ever on Spotify.
That would be a great thing to kind of look up and
probably
look
2018.
Probably, for sure. He had to be top 5 at some point. But this year, Kendrick is 19. We got SZA at 16. We got Kanye at 20. Alex, your guy, Bad Bunny, he is at 21. Yeah, I mean, it's just some notable artists on here. Like somebody like Britney Spears, right? On Spotify in general, she's number 72. There's millions of artists in the world. For Britney Spears to be number 72, I think that just kind of speaks to, again, just back catalog and just algorithm and all of these things. I don't know how many people are actively saying, hey, let me listen to Britney Spears. Like Michael Jackson is 58 on this list. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look for Playboy Cardi. Nicki Minaj is 56 and Chris Brown is 55.
Where's my guy? The Kid Leroy.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned him.
I actually like his music.
He's 69.
Really?
Oh, I was joking.
I like his music.
Because I feel like he puts up big numbers, but I was like joking.
He does. And again, I think that's why this list is kind of cool to me because this is all encompassing, right? Like, we have Pink on here. We got like Ellie Goulding. We got Kesha. Kesha doesn't put out
Ellie.
Fucking music. Kesha is 84. We got Gunna at 97. Now, this is where I get to kind of stick my chest out a little bit.
Yeah.
J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole. He's top 100.
Okay.
He's 98 on this list.
Okay. For Spotify.
Big 3. But if I had to replace J. Cole in the big 3, I would replace him with 95.
Who is?
Neo.
Of course you would. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. Hey, that's kind of ill for Neo though to be at 95 though. Hey, top 100. All right.
This has been the Neo.
I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Neo was 95.
No, you just like genuinely caught me off guard because when during the 9 seconds I had to think between, oh my God, who's gonna replace Tyler the Creator? Like who's he? Like Young Thug and Future?
Future?
Neo. I was just so caught off guard.
This list is catching me off guard.
shit.
Neo is like 95. I didn't think he would be in the top 100.
That's pretty great.
It is great. 50 Cent is 93. Like, there's a ton of artists on this list. Again, I think they go into like the 200s, and there's a lot of artists who you would be surprised, and there's a lot of artists where you're like, oh shit, this is really dope.
Right.
A real big achievement for them. Like somebody like Young Thug. He's 199. Now, again, he's
Damn.
one of the bigger prominent artists in our culture, but for him to be on that list, and this is the world that we're talking about, right? I think it's a really dope list. I thought it was really cool.
That's so. See, the list I was talking about where I said I knew the person. I just got this from Hot 97. I knew I saw something. Drake was the most streamed rapper on Spotify in November.
But wait, real quick. This says what I'm reading. It says he's the most streamed male artist in Spotify history as well.
Who? Drake?
Drake.
That could be true,
Yeah.
but my list is different.
No, yes, to your point, but I think we have a bigger full circle moment here. Man, you done petitioned against UMG and Spotify about inflated numbers and things of that nature. And we already referenced about how you've already benefited. And in the month of November, after Kendrick put out the music video, the announcement of the Super Bowl, you're still Spotify's most streamed artist. Come on, bro.
As of February 2024.
Come on, bro.
Alex and Reggie,
That's crazy.
I need y'all to
Come
agree to
on,
something
bro.
on air so I can hold y'all accountable.
Yes, you can inflate our numbers.
Oh,
Let's do it. To the moon.
Is that what you're gonna say?
We gonna pump them.
no, but I'm glad I got your permission.
Pump it up. That was great. That was great.
That shit.
That was great.
Say less, Reggie. That's all we needed. All we needed was your okay.
Album title, pump it up. I mean, not album. Episode title, pump it up.
Woo!
Why
I
not?
tell you, what
No,
happened?
no, no.
Yeah, what happened?
I needed your permission to just be able to pod on the spot.
The fuck that
What do you mean by that?
If something like, I'm just gonna queue up my crib. I'm gonna like next year. I think I want to stream.
Oh, he wants
that'd be dope.
like a blanket permission to just
That'd be dope.
pod
Talk my
without
shit.
us.
No,
be
but
dope.
I'm gonna ask y'all.
I
Of
like that
course.
for
But
you.
like,
No,
if
yeah.
y'all like, if we can't for whatever reason,
Yeah,
like
that's
just give me the green light to just make a fool of myself.
You do that every week.
I think you should definitely.
Hey,
wow,
that was
that
mean.
was crazy, Pierre.
That's out of love.
That's crazy.
Yo, did y'all see that Duke Dennis called me a hater?
No, I didn't see that.
Somebody- no, it
no,
wasn't Duke
no,
Dennis.
no,
I'm sorry.
no,
Oh, the
no,
shit
no,
from the
no,
group
it wasn't
chat.
Duke. It wasn't
It
Duke.
was his video.
His community?
No.
He's still getting the name. What was it?
So, all right, let me real quick.
I don't like being called a hater. I ain't-
Phantom.
Sorry, dude.
Hit the Phantom's community on Reddit. Put out a music video of different clips with Phantom in it. Of his most popular, what they consider his most popular freestyle. And there was a hater line within the first couple minutes of it. And the photo that they used for the hater was our fantastic SaVon.
Damn, it's even worse than I thought. Why?
Damn. Just
So
him though, right?
Yeah, just him.
Okay, good.
It was an ISO. It was an ISO of the pod of just him.
I was like, I'm not in there.
Exhibit,
They got me in there, right?
Exhibit
so
A. You said
within-
the wrong name.
So within their
Mhm.
AMP community, SaVon is the emblem of a hater.
hate.
Well, within
In that
Phantom's
video,
community,
yeah, for sure.
they
Got you.
used pretty much
cool.
SaVon
That's
is a
pretty
hater.
cool.
Nah, but you ill though. You
I'm not a
popular.
hater though. Like I speak the
You hated
world.
on them.
No, I'm not. Because when I see Kevin Hart, who I see him link up with,
Doing it again.
the one,
Doing it again.
the one.
Shout out to
nigga.
Costin out on that.
Shout out
Wait,
to
hold
all
on. We
of them.
didn't answer this
Bitch.
question. We answered. So
The
you want
fuck?
like blanket immunity to pod whenever you want?
No, with your permission.
I think you should
Oh,
definitely.
why not?
I need y'all. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up, but I think next year I got to turn it up a little bit. We, as a collective, have to turn it up. But there's gonna be moments where I may not be available. If Alex wanna come in here and pod, like, this is the beauty of owning some shit. Like,
Facts.
we got a whole studio, right? Like, so if Alex wants to come in
Facts.
here and I'm in Dominican Republic somewhere, or if I'm uptown somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm in the Bronx, like, and I just can't be available. I need my guy to like still hold it down without feeling shame. Vice versa. I need to know that I can like just get my bullshit off without feeling shame. I
Nah.
will tell y'all though.
I think you should definitely do it, bro.
I will
For sure,
tell y'all
for
though for sure.
Yeah, I remember there was like a moment, I think a month or two ago, where you were like, guys, I just really want to get some thoughts out. Like, do you mind if
I
I
did say that.
pod? I was like,
Yup.
we were like, yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
for
We
sure.
did.
We had
And it
no
didn't fall through,
qualms.
but that's it. Like, I think going into next year, I know we're gonna wrap up this episode. A lot of y'all asked us for a longer episode, but whatever.
Oh, you got it.
You got it. Going into next year, we're gonna just create more, and I can't wait for y'all to kind of see.
A lot planned.
Shout out to everybody who appreciated last week's episode.
Salute to
I
y'all.
thought it was cute.
I thought it was great.
Down to earth episode.
It was
Not
And
as newsy.
Yeah,
Thank
But
you.
I
that was
do
more for
understand.
family.
I do understand why they wanted to hear a different thing from us. I
For
do
sure.
get it,
Absolutely,
too.
Absolutely.
and they're right.
We love y'all
Yeah,
regardless.
they got that. Anything else y'all want to get out, y'all sister?
Yes. I'm going to end on this. I know you talked about Drake a lot today. This is my final point. I promise y'all, and we out of here. I do think that this is going to change a lot for his output and how he releases music and trust issues. Full circle moment why, when we started the podcast and I said, that P&D project, I don't know. I really don't know. Because if this petition lawsuit doesn't go the way that he imagines it to go, or let's say it does, do you go right back? Are you going to continue to audit Spotify and UMG on a month-to-month basis? Or do you create your own streaming service? Right? I think about Jay-Z, about the title thing and how he wanted Drake to join him. Just so many things pop up to my mind now. But again, things that we'll keep posted regardless. We love you all.
I'm glad you kind of mentioned Jay-Z and Drake
Yeah.
because there was a report that came out while we weren't recording, which is Jay-Z allegedly asked J. Cole to seek Drake for a hit in his earlier years.
Yep,
Mhm.
heard that.
crazy.
And then there's always a line that Jay-Z has said that just applies. On the collaboration album between Beyonce and Jay-Z, there's a song called Boss where Jay-Z, I don't know what scenario he's talking to, but one of the lyrics, and I'm paraphrasing, is niggas would rather work for the man than
To work with
me.
Yeah.
And that's around the time where Tidal seemed to not have the steam that we thought it would have. And a lot of people did exclusive with Apple at that time, or a little bit before that. We
Like
saw
Drake.
Kanye drop his album, Pablo, Life of Pablo, exclusively on Apple. We saw Frank Ocean do exclusively on Apple. We saw Drake drop exclusively on Apple. So yeah, Jay-Z, he's always going to be a common denominator because he's the standard, he's the bar.
Yeah.
But there's always a bar that he has for certain people. And J. Cole and his guys telling stories about how Jay-Z said, literally verbatim, this is what they said. Well, I ain't making it up. I'm not even paraphrasing with this one. But it's like, give him a hit. Go give J. Cole a hit because at the time, Drake just couldn't miss. And J. Cole was one of the first Rock Nation artists, right? Like, I know today Rock Nation is like a powerhouse, it's a staple in our culture. But in its inception, we had J. Cole, we had Bridget Kelly, we had a few other artists who were like Rock Nation's very first artists. And, Jay-Z, he's a businessman.
If you were Cole, would you take that as a hit, as a slight?
Absolutely.
No, and he said it was like one of the most embarrassing moments of his career. Like, if it did not feel good.
It explains so much between the relation with him and Hove now. It's so clear as day. If I'm Cole, man, fuck Hove.
But what if it's actually
I'm
fact?
Cole. But you can't say that to me as an artist.
But can you get mad at fact?
Yes.
But they spoke about it after, though.
It's sort of like when I have children, right? There's a certain amount of delusion and motivation that you want to pump in them.
Yeah.
Why? Because that can give them the opportunity to be the greatest of all time, to be the best of all time with zero doubts. When he come out the womb, or when she come out the womb, I'll be like, yo, you better than Michael Jordan. Yo, you better than Asia Wilson. Like,
that's what happened to me.
Exactly. And look how you came out. You achieved everything.
No, not like my parents would literally be like, they still show pictures of me as a baby. They're like, you were the most beautiful person ever.
Absolutely.
Like,
and it's just, if you're on my label, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm gonna want to motivate you to feel like you're better than a homie that you're talking to in the corner. Even if he does have more slaps out right now, that's not your position and job to kind of slight him in that moment.
But what if I'm Jay-Z and I'm thinking that's going to motivate you?
You just said it though. What if I'm Jay-Z? Jay-Z, not everybody is you. You have to deal with everybody differently. You cannot deal with one person the same way that you deal with other people. It's like textbook to life.
Yeah, like
You can't.
psychologically, that was not a good thing for your
At all.
exec to do to
I know
you.
you
Be like,
dealing
yo, I can't make a hit unless it's with my peer Drake. Like that does not feel good.
Now it makes so much sense, bro. You be hearing how you talk about Drake and how he's held as some. Duh. Hov was in his ear telling him how great he was, and Cole had to live through that while he was going head to head against him in competition, at least through rap. Man, yeah, this might be the J. Cole apologist episode.
Listen, I love competition. So me, if I can't, I know I can't expect me from everybody, but if I hear that,
I know.
Come on now.
It sound good, Pierre.
It's
I
cool.
know.
You know what I mean? I gotta buck up and actually make something up. You know what I mean?
Real quick, Pierre.
Yeah.
Let's
you get me fired up.
Real quick. Drake is who he is at the height of, I don't even know when that was. Reggie, did he reference that on the episode when that was? That the year?
Like the exchange?
The exchange when it happened?
It was around the time before they made Workout. You know, his first single?
Boom.
Before that.
So before they made Workout, Drake is already Drake. Best I Ever Had is already a smash. It's going crazy on Billboard. There's already hits out from Drake.
Or like around that time.
Yes.
He was saying like the peers, like Wiz Khalifa and all that, they were doing like 100K for their album. And Drake by that time already was doing like 400K. So he was that guy. And J. Cole was nowhere near that.
J. Cole not near that. He can't be influenced from that. Like, you have to feel like you're better. That's just how I feel, man.
But then, I don't want J. Cole fans to get on me, but then he dropped the album and the numbers were really, really good. So,
and why do you think that is? Why might you think that is?
I'm listening.
Because he had a little bit of fire up under him and got motivated.
These
but you don't have to do that by telling him to make a song with Drake.
And these are the same songs that Cole kind of regrets making, or he says he can't even listen back to because he doesn't identify with himself in it. So yeah, Pierre, to your point and to Jay-Z's commercial point, because he's always been a high-selling artist, he felt like, yo, you got to go get with them hit makers. We're going to get number ones. Okay, cool. But for a creator, an artist like J. Cole, that's not the route you wanted to take. And it did deter him as an artist.
We all grow. All artists grow. Kendrick just said the same thing on the first track, whatever the name of it was. That he was once this and then he grew. What's the difference now?
Different mentality,
I just feel like, Pierre, like what motivates you the most is you having to be better than someone. That's why I think I'm like
rap. Everybody is
I feel what you're saying.
No, I mean like in life, like why do you have to be compared to someone to like get that fire up under you? You know? Like why is that what motivates you the most?
Me personally?
I guess, yeah.
I love competition. If you're not somebody that favors or that loves competition, you're going to see competition you're going to see an opportunity. There's going to be an opportunity in front of you and you're just going to cower. I hate cowering.
I feel what you're saying, bro. Artists are very vulnerable people, right? And
I hate cowering.
And this is my real last point for real, dog. Drake was he still is a Swiss Army knife.
Whacked out murals.
Yeah, whacked out murals is when Kendrick said that, I'm sure, right? But Drake was always been a Swiss Army knife. Do you know how frustrated I would be if I was one of Drake's peers when Drake was at his height in terms of
he's that guy
trying to combat that?
Well, I think,
and then the person on your label telling you to come. It's not an easy feat.
It does motivate you. I see your point. Like,
I see what you're saying, though.
I'm not saying it's easy.
It's not.
I'm just saying if you're in a sport, why not compete?
But I think at that point, to speak to Alex and Reggie's, and you know, I'm all about competition.
Sure.
Like I'm with all that bullshit. But I think at that point, yeah, I'm with all of it. Like bring it this way.
Yeah.
But what I think at that point and in that industry, like we're seeing now, it's also about the budgets.
That got me hot back here.
Pierre's sweating.
I know. I was like, I thought he was waving me off. It's also about the budgets.
He's literally sweating.
And the investment that people pump into certain records and the marketing that you have. So yeah, like if my executive is telling me, yo, this guy got to give you a hit show, song, podcast, whatever the case may be, I'm also going to look at him like, dude, why don't you open up my budget?
Right.
Why don't you
like
give
help
me
do it.
like
why is this person become
like,
the barometer of success?
Clearly I'm talented enough to be signed to you, for you to believe in me, to be one of the biggest artists on your label, the first artist on your label. Why not give me the opportunities with the budget, with the people that maybe I want to collaborate with? Like, right? I think J. Cole and Miguel, they're synonymous with the start of their careers because every time I heard and again, Reggie, I'm not gonna offend you. You are a real Dreamville. You are a real J. Cole stan. But I just want to talk to like the mainstream folks, right? The mainstream folks, a lot of people that I know, when I saw Miguel, I saw J. Cole for the the beginning of their career.
Yeah,
I
like
would try
Power
to-
Trip, All I Want Is You.
Yeah.
Very synonymous, right?
sure.
What a
for sure.
time.
J. Cole, at that time, for both of those artists, they were both like starting. What would it have looked like if, again, we saw Drake, he was exposed to Lil Wayne straight out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
He was exposed to Nicki Minaj straight out the gate, right? Like, now Nicki may not have been as established, but she was making an imprint. She had all of those things in place, and Lil Wayne was Lil Wayne, right? The only time that me personally, and now tell me if I'm wrong, I know we're going on like a tangent, it's really late, I'm so sorry. But the first time I heard J. Cole with a major artist was with Jay-Z on the Blueprint 3.
A Star is
Star is
Born.
Born.
Star is Born.
Oh my gosh.
Think about what that did for him at that time. And think about talk about somebody who knew the rent was due.
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole left not a single bar, not a single flow,
Not a crumb.
unturned on that song. Like, anybody who never heard that song, please, please, please go on your Spotify, your Tidal, your Apple Music. Go listen to A Star Is Born, Jay-Z featuring J. Cole. You could hear the hunger. You could hear, like, that's when I knew, oh, he's one of them. Like,
And the story goes that he had to write that like in the studio with them.
I believe
So
it.
that pressure was on. Like,
I can't wait.
Oh,
Like, did they
what a
tell that
time.
story on his podcast?
he's told it like plenty of times
I
before.
would love to hear that on his
That's
pod.
good pressure. Not, yo, there go your man who you competing with. Give him a song.
Yeah,
The fuck,
for sure,
nigga?
for sure.
But if your artist is like Pierre, that is the right thing to say to
Sure,
him. Yeah.
sure.
Which is his
I
point.
get that.
For
I
sure.
get that.
I can understand where Pierre's coming
But
from.
if it was like me, I'll be like,
And that's what I'm saying. You
No.
gotta know who you dealing with.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like where my whole
I'll
crux
be like,
lies.
I don't give a fuck what Drake is doing.
bro.
Like,
You know, and this is why, and we can wrap this up. But this is one. No, for real, I'm so sorry. Like, I've missed potting with y'all. I'm sorry.
Same.
no,
Can you
this,
see?
today's the day to do a 3-hour episode.
But this is one of the reasons why. And Alex, I'm sure you can relate to this too. But like, this is why I appreciate coming up and understanding and being able to have a front row seat with working with somebody like a Joe Budden,
Nah, facts.
right?
Absolutely.
Because we understand what it takes to kind of do this on the level that he's doing it. Like, every single, I'm like, you're always going to be a fan of the culture and of the space and of the growth of that. But then being able to have a front row seat, like, I think a J. Cole, he got to see it up front. I think a Drake, he got to see what it took to be that.
Right.
Right. And so that's why I'm always super appreciative of that, of an Ian and all of those guys. Like, and even like Rory and Maul, knowing their process, being in that incubator
cog.
of just like, oh shit, this is what it takes to kind of do this on that level.
Yeah.
Now, whether y'all resonate with us or not, that's all up on that's on you, right? Like,
Yeah, that's on
cool,
y'all.
I can't.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, we can't do anything more.
Yeah.
But just having the exposure to the greats that's all I kind of want to compare it
That's what
to.
you're saying. Yeah.
Having that exposure, it makes you kind of move in a different way. And you can see that. I can see that personally when I heard J. Cole on A Star Is Born. I'm like, oh, wait. He's different than like Memphis Bleak.
The strays, he's gonna hate us.
No. Memphis said he was jealous of J. Cole. I don't know if y'all saw that interview. He said it.
He should have
He
been.
recently said, like,
He should've
yo,
been.
when Hove gave Cole creative freedom on his song, I was hating. Like, so, but again, going back to like what you said, Alex, you
Yeah.
gotta know who can handle what.
Yeah.
Clearly, Hove knew J. Cole could handle something that maybe he didn't really know at the time that
Solid.
Memphis Bleak could.
Mhm.
And like now we get to see it. J. Cole is synonymous with being one of the greatest rappers ever, where Memphis Bleak is synonymous with being one of the greatest like Robins ever. From Batman and Robin. No, I'm not trying to
Damn, you
diss.
just called him a sidekick.
Nah, I know what you're
I'm
saying.
not trying to diss,
No, I know what
bro.
you're saying
Like,
because
come
at
on,
that
don't do that
time,
to
I
me.
know Memphis Bleak had some records, and people thought, okay, Hove, this is your next up. I know what you be.
I'm not
I know
trying to diss.
Your
like,
man did
I know
wild.
he's a
what you
legend,
did,
bro.
man.
Like, I'm not
Shout
gonna
out
do
to
that.
Bleak, man.
But it is what it is. Like, in the grand scheme of hip hop and rap, and when you tell a story of rap, like you at this point, there's certain people you can't tell the history of hip hop without. J. Cole is one of those people. And I'm not gonna disrespect Memphis and be like, oh, you can't talk. Like, he contributed to rap, but like,
Yeah.
there's levels to that shit.
I see what you're saying.
J. Cole, Memphis Bleak, it's different levels. That's just what it is.
Bleak go cry when he see this.
Hove did it. I didn't do it.
Bleak just be taking random
No,
shots.
the whole like no, I'm not. I'm just giving like
Not just you, it's always him though. Bleak always catches
Yeah.
Look,
stray.
Jay-Z did it to him. Hov said he's the next Hov.
I'm crying.
Who
And set him up.
He
Yeah.
did
Now,
say
like,
that.
what the fuck?
He
So
did
we
say
took
that.
that as, oh shit, he the next Hov. And
Yo,
when he didn't
you
pan
know,
out to be
Bleak-
the next Hov, like,
You know, Bleak got a podcast now. You better watch out.
Damn.
I'm a chill.
They about to run this
Yeah,
clip.
man.
It's gonna be another one with
Man,
you right
we
on
like-
it.
we
Powered
love
by
you,
Rock
Bleak.
Nation too.
I know. And they got the big budgets.
The good ones.
Ask Tory Lanez.
All
This has
right.
been a Need to
Come
Know
on.
podcast.
Come
y'all.
on, come
What you
on,
need
come
to know
on,
when you
come
need
on,
someone to
come
Need
on.
to Know podcast. You guys have been so marvelous. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and
Yo,
comment.
what's wrong with you, SaVon?
And please leave how you feel about each and every topic within our comments. We will see you guys shortly. We love you all. Peace and salutations. Gang.